Yeah. Soul Train. Third degree. SB on site. Yeah. We about to do it to y'all. Yeah. Here we go. Here we go. Let's go.
We came to blow your mind.
One time, 2 times, 3 times. Yeah.
We came to blow your mind.
3 times, 2 times, 1 time. Yeah. Soul Train. Mic check, 1 2 1 2. Mic check 1 2 1 2. Can you hear me? All right. Welcome to Drop Your 3 Cent. I'm your boy Third Degree. Thank you. We're just making sure that we were right. I was told there was no sound, and we can't go on without no sound.
Bluetooth connected.
Yeah. I don't know what happened right there. Ooh, wee. I'm gonna bring on Quez. Quez, how you doing, man?
What's going on, brother?
Oh man.
Man, how we doing?
Man, maintain it, bro. How about you?
Man, another day in the life. I can't complain.
Right, man. It is the official. Am I loud enough? Am I good?
Yeah, you good?
Okay. Yeah, it's the official vacation birthday week. We're gonna try to get through this as best as possible.
There we go. Turn up for the rest of the year.
Yeah, man. It is quickly approaching. Man, shout out to everybody that's tuning in. Thank you to everybody who's been supporting and been rocking with.
Thank you. You know what I mean? We appreciate y'all tuning in, man. We got another live show for y'all. So be ready, because we finna touch on some stuff y'all been asking. So we here to deliver. We are here to deliver the goods. Sorry, I'm watching it and making sure the Facebook stream is going good. Let's go. Yeah. All right. Yeah, so brother,
I think I'm back good.
Yeah, you good.
All right. You got anything you want to add, man? Or anything that's been happening on in the news?
Man, it's a lot. You know what I saw yesterday that I thought was just crazy.
What's that, bro?
That hospital in Salem that infected all the people with hepatitis B and C and HIV over like 2 year span. People was coming in and get colonoscopies and all kind of stuff. Now they got diseases, and it took y'all 2 years to figure it out. I think it's a setup, but I won't go there. But I just think that's a bit crazy, you know.
Yeah, no, I didn't hear about that one.
Oh yeah, it's man crazy.
I didn't hear about Diddy though.
Why? they on Diddy helmet. You know what I mean? They first give Diddy that Bill Cosby treatment.
First it was Pac, allegedly, you know what I'm saying? Like old boy gets arrested and they tried to tie it with Pac. Then, then now this whole thing with Cassie, I don't know, man. Do you believe it? Do you not believe it?
Man, walk like a duck, quack like a duck, gotta be a duck, man. Yeah, because to be honest, that wasn't just when Buddy got arrested, wasn't the first time people thought Diddy had something to do with that. Like, that's been an ongoing thing. So yeah, I think that part's crazy, and it's the music industry. So I can only imagine, with him being at the heights that he's at, the type of things he feels he can get away with. Should I say?
Right. Man, it's crazy. It's crazy.
They said they got like 200 in the background waiting to tell. And,
right.
Hey man, if it's one thing for sure, two things for certain. As a black man, you ain't getting out of here clean. That's how I see it. You're not getting out of here clean and having that much success and notoriety and being accepted and loved by all cultures. But yeah, you can't make it out clean on that one.
I hear you.
It's a touchy
man,
thing.
we'll eventually tackle that, but like again, we got some folks that wanted to come on, so just bear with us real quick as we kind of go over some house rules. Again, if you want to come on, hit the link. We will add you on gradually, but we just want to ask you to please put in your headphones if you're going to be using a phone. No background noise. Get somewhere nice and quiet. You know, we don't want to hear people in the background screaming and cursing you out. We don't want to hear you shredding no paper. We don't want to hear you, messing with security. We don't want you, saying in dark mode, doing X, Y, and Z throughout the cuts and whatever. Focus on one spot because it's kind of distracting and it takes away from what you may be saying or what someone else may be saying. And right now, again, we're kind of worldwide. We have a bigger platform. We're not just on Facebook no more. So we're trying to step up our class and our integrity. And we don't want to be looking ignorant, hood, ratchet, ghetto, and all the other stuff. So we want to present ourselves as such. And, we don't know who's watching. So, just keep it nice and classy. So, again, no background distraction. Just make sure that you focus. You get your headphones on. If the sound is kind of jacked up, it means no ill will of us. If we have to kind of take you out to where you can figure it out. Also, make sure you keep it respectable. If you come on camera, make sure that you have your camera on, or at least make sure you have a picture or something. It looks kind of ill if it's just like a blank box and someone's talking. So, if we're on here looking like rough and rugged, then you're gonna be all right too.
Yeah, get some good lighting, man. Get some good lighting. Don't take it personal, like he said. If we kick you off the show because your sound ain't working, it's nothing personal. We just got to keep the flow of the show going. We still working out some kinks, but we trying to be at the utmost level when it comes to this thing, man. This is a production. This ain't no fly by night routine here.
Word. D, how you doing?
Hey, what's up? How are you guys doing?
Another day, another penny.
Penny.
Here we go.
That part.
I'm just trying to make it make sense. That's why we here.
Hey, that's Big Money D right there. You know what I'm saying? That's Big Money D.
Oh, big tired D.
She don't take change. She only take the stuff that fold.
Good money
Right.
that don't, real money don't make noise. You don't want nobody to hear you coming. They hear you coming, they gonna be asking for some.
Man.
Let me stop. I do need to
all
hire
right,
three people though.
Huh?
I do need to hire 3 people, so at the end I'll let y'all know. We'll plug it in. I need to hire 3.
We'll put an ad out on Indeed for you. Don't worry about it.
Indeed.
All right, so I think we got a live show tonight. We got a few topics. We're going to talk about Lori Harvey and her dating history. There are women who are championing her, saying that, I guess, should women be more like her or run and regret not be like her? That's the question. We're going to talk about do women create a safe space for men? Is there a such thing? We're going to break that down. Also, we're going to talk about last week's show kind of inspired a whole talk about marriage and divorce, about how long you should be married. Why do people get married? And why is there such a negative look or aura around marriage nowadays, traditional marriage? So we're going to break that down too. So, I mean, you guys got anything before we start the show?
No, let's rock and roll.
Hey, only thing
Hey, everybody.
What's up, T?
Hey, hello.
Hey, y'all.
Here we go.
Hey, Adoration.
What's
Hey,
up,
Adoration.
Make sure you guys are sharing this with your guys' people. It gives you that option to where you can share the destination with your people on Facebook, on YouTube, on LinkedIn, on Twitter. the more the merrier. So don't be afraid. Don't be conservative. Share, share, share. That's how we get the word out.
Yeah. Speaking of the word, you know what I'm saying? Third, what's the word?
Yo, third word for today is manipulation. Now, when I looked it up, it's manipulation. The first that they give is to handle or control. The second, control or influence, in parentheses, a person or situation, cleverly, unfairly. Another word for it is exploit. So I saw it befitting because, again, a lot of people will have arguments, debates, discussions, and they want to try to prove a point or make themselves seem as right or make themselves seem just. And people use manipulation, unbeknownst to them. Sometimes it's intentional, sometimes it's unintentional. But sometimes the verbiage that people use, it's a form of manipulation because they want to get some type of influence or control over a situation, or they want a person to adhere to whatever it is that they have to say or get them to do what they want to do. Or they try to manipulate a situation to make themselves appear a certain way. So when we're talking about Lori Harvey, and again, I think she manipulates the media, to a certain extent. We got people who will definitely manipulate the media because of damage control or image control, and they want to control their image. So, sometimes, the best conversations that you need to have are just a real conversation with yourself. The best representation that you can have is of yourself. You don't have to manipulate the situation. I think people need to find other ways and other forms of communication to get your point across without using manipulation.
That's good. Hey, what's funny is last night, I got two book clubs. I got one that goes on like 7 a.m. Out here on the East Coast, and then another one that I usually do at 10:30 East Coast time at night. So the nighttime book we're reading is the 48 Laws of Power. And if you read that book before, chapter 3 talks about that heavily, and that's what we read last night. So,
perfect timing, huh?
So perfect timing.
It was right on time because we had a big discussion about it last night after that chapter, and a lot of people was feeling uneasy, like, "Well, that sounds like manipulation." I said, "It is." That was the point.
So that must be the word for today.
Hey, it's right on time, man.
I didn't know, we don't talk and discuss this. I have to kind of let the spirit move me, and I have to feel it, and then I bring it to you guys, whatever it is that I feel that's heavy on my heart, or something I've seen throughout the week.
Let them use you, brother. Let them use you.
Yep.
Man. So let's jump into the first discussion of the night. Lori Harvey.
Steve's daughter.
You said what?
I said Steve's daughter.
Right. Funny you should say that.
Right.
Because I have a few questions. Now, Lori Harvey is in the news because she is another failed relationship, with Damson Idris, whatever his name is, the dude from Snowfall. But right before that, she was actually linked to Michael B. Jordan. And we don't know why they broke up. We don't know what happened, but they were together. And then before that, it was like what Future. Then before that, wasn't it like Diddy? Then before that, wasn't it like Justin? Then before that,
No.
I don't keep up with her track record. But she ought to be thanking God she got away from Diddy with all the stuff that's going on now.
Man. So
Yep.
My question is, how is that possible that she's having all these failed relationships when her father is Steve Harvey, love guru, Mr. Think Like a Man,
guru?
Isn't he on his third marriage? Sorry.
The dog. You said what?
I said, isn't he on his third marriage?
Yeah.
Or something like that.
Yeah, something like that. I know it's not the first. That's for sure.
Yeah, it ain't the second.
No, so that's about right. It's the third.
Now, I got a clip. I didn't really get no news clips of her and her, again, but I did come across this one clip of a guy that was spitting a couple of bars, and we'll play that just before we start getting started.
Let's do it.
With the love, us, and Steve Harvey. Man, that man cheated on his wife with his mistress, married his mistress and has kids with his daughter, jumped from one relationship to the next with no intention. So all that relationship advice you be listening to about love, he should have given to his children. The only time you want equality is when it's beneficial to your agenda. Love, this ain't a poem, this is an intervention. She be talking about how her grandfather took care of her grandmother. Well, that's that grown man's business, and the woman that your grandmother is doesn't correlate to the woman that's being mentioned. Stop acting like you don't want hookah drinks and a good night. A nightcap with your night bag while getting hit from behind. She gonna go for brunch and mimosas. Trust me, it works every time. She gonna be yelling out the window how she outside and she fuck nigga free, but she want a husband in the same line. Love, when the family feuds in real life, it ain't a game show. And if love don't cost a thing, how come you keep asking for things you can't even bring to the table? Poem.
Okay.
Couple of bars. He has a couple of bars.
Just a few. You know what I'm saying?
So my question to the ladies because again, I think we as men get dragged because we're quote unquote bothered by Lori Harvey and whatever it is that she's doing. Women, how do you feel about Lori Harvey? We'll let Dee start it off.
Oh,
Hey, hello, Kendra. How you doing?
What's up, Kendra?
Hey, Ken.
Hello.
So, anyway, I'm always on the fence. So, to me, I feel like she's what, in her 20s, late 20s, something like that.
Early 20s.
Okay.
Early 20s.
But you know what? She living her life. I mean, how many of us done had only one person or two only when you was in your 20s or 30s? I mean, if we go and tally up before you turn 30, how many, you know what I mean? So she basically just said she's in the spotlight. So, I mean, at the end of the day, at least she ain't marrying them and divorcing them. You know what I mean? She ain't getting caught up. So really, I feel like she's living her life. If we were to put ours out there on blast, we ain't trying to put that out there, that number. But I'm just saying, so why?
No.
Yeah, give us a rough estimate.
You know what I'm saying?
I only got a few bodies. You know what I'm
No,
saying?
it's none of your business.
Yeah, that's
It's none of your business. That's none of your business.
So I'm just saying, she just living, you know what I mean, her life, really. I don't think she's dogging them out. I don't think it's for the money. I don't think it's just because she's just having fun. And then if it don't work out, okay, we ain't good. But at least she ain't having no babies with them, and she ain't doing all this other stuff like the rest of them. You know what I mean? Look at some of them other ones, like Krishan and all the rest of them crazy ones. So I don't feel any type of way about her. You know what I mean?
Right.
I feel she's just living her life. She's just living.
That's a great comparison. That is a great comparison.
Right. That was
Miss Kendra
between two people. Right.
Right.
Miss Kendra, what are your thoughts on Lori Harvey? Do you have any thoughts or 3 cents on her?
I think she's a gold digger. I think her mama taught her.
Okay.
Yeah, you never know.
I can see that. Yeah.
That's it. She a gold digger?
Mama did teach
I
us some
can see
stuff.
that.
All right. Adoration.
I mean, okay. I didn't know who Lori Harvey was just recently. And I heard Future's take on the situation first before I heard anything else. So I was like, oh my God, what is this? Who is this? So that's when I did a little digging around that I saw her date, I guess, the last two guys, or heard about it or something like that. And okay, so here was my honest take, if I'm being honest. I looked into it, and first I was like, oh my God, like, how can you break up so fast? That was my biggest thing. And I realized that in our generation, we have this look on dating almost like we do on marriage. So when we see a marriage start, what do we think? To death do it part. And I feel like in boyfriend and girlfriend relationships today, in general, we look at relationships as if you start a relationship, then it should last like forever. right? And of course, hopefully, yada yada yada. But I feel like when I really think about like the way that I actually date in general is I do more of a courting style dating, more of like a courting style, like you know what I mean. And so I was looking and I'm like, well, just like D had said, she's in the public light. So for us, every time we see her holding a guy's hand, they're together. They should last forever. And are we sure that we really know what's going on? Like, is it every time I'm going out on a date with a guy, is that my new boyfriend if I were being filmed every day? And these people are all high profile people. So they can't smoke a joint without everybody knowing. They sit down at the table, they're dating. They hold hands, they're together. Anything happens, oh my God, sparks fly all over TV. And did we ever hear them? I mean, sometimes we heard, I think I heard something from Michael B. Jordan after they broke up, but I haven't really heard anything from her at all. Like, are you dating? Are you together? Confirm the rumors. We don't really know what people's relationships are. I've only dated one guy so far.
One?
But yeah. But I've gone out on
we're
dates.
we're gonna have to fact check.
Girl, you got to
I'm
feel
just
too
saying
now.
though.
Come on, tell us.
He said fact check. You know I do
We're gonna have to
background
fact
checks,
check
right?
that one.
You know I do
don't know.
background checks, right?
Yeah,
Like I said, maybe it's because
somebody
I
run the
grew up,
I'm gonna
data.
need your
so I wasn't
social
around my
ID.
kind.
Yeah.
In my mind, I was always going to date myself a Black American man. I mean, who else is there to date, right? But I grew up abroad. So eventually I dated a non-Black American man, you know what I mean? Well, I was like 25 or whatever. But what I'm saying is, how many guys have I walked out and went out on a date with? How many guys, if I was in the public eye, if I were being recorded every time I turned the corner, how many guys was I with, according to people? So I'm starting to think when I look at Lori Harvey, because it seems like, oh my God, how could she break up so fast? Are we counting it as the way that we think about relationships today? Or are we really looking at the situation? Is she courting people? Like, I'm getting to know you. You know what I mean? Maybe she's not doing like the normal people just kind of go on a date.
We're gonna put a toothpick in that. We're gonna put a toothpick in that. We're gonna come back.
All right.
We're gonna break that down.
That's where my
No, we're gonna break that down.
We're gonna break that down. So
we're gonna pop this bubble in your head. We gonna pop it tonight.
I'm just asking.
Tonight. Letitia, what are your thoughts?
That was my roast reset question.
Okay, so honestly, I don't care. First off,
oh shit! Here we go with this shit.
Because
I don't care.
Okay,
Nigga, they're in the public opinion.
I'm not sitting here counting every man that she's been with. However, when I see that there's a new person, I'm like, damn, what happened now? Like, why is there a new person? It's only been like 6 or whatever months. I agree with Dee. She young. She can do what she wants. Whether it's being a gold digger or not, she's young. That's her life. It doesn't really reflect everybody else. But it becomes an issue with this is why some things you just need to try your best. I know she's in the limelight and everything else, and she goes out in public. Maybe she's a clout chaser. I don't know. But she's always out in the limelight. This is why certain things you should keep quiet. No one would know anything if it wasn't always out in the public, and you wouldn't have to hear what other people think about whatever relationship you're in. So
right.
I don't know how much she can control that because, like I said, we all know who her
she's a
daddy
celebrity.
is. Yeah.
She's famous for what? I don't know exactly besides being Steve Harvey's daughter, but
yeah,
I mean,
that's
anytime
because I can't find anything
what
else
does she
that
do?
like. What else does she do?
That's the thing. I never hear her talk about her relationships.
What does she do?
I'm not even worried about her relationships. Like, what does she do outside of her dad? Outside of us catching her with a new man every 3, 4,
I don't
5,
see any
6, 7, 8
talent.
months.
Like I don't see her acting in anything. You know, I don't see her spitting a bar or singing a
She's
note.
a model, I think.
Like
She
what?
should-
Is,
I think she was supposed to be a model or a fashion person or something, a stylist she was trying to be or something.
So
okay, so
Miss
where's the
Kendra,
footage?
we can't hear you if you're talking. I see you talking, but I couldn't hear you.
I heard her.
Yeah.
I said I think she was supposed to be trying to be like a model or like a fashion stylist or something like that.
She's just supposed to
but not all the way. Like, you know, that's why she got
Right.
hooked up with Diddy because Diddy was supposed to get her in the fashion.
That fashion
thing.
world. Yep. You're so
I think
right.
she's like
I
an
have
influencer.
completely forgot about that. I think she clout chasing.
So, but that's my whole thing is that, so again, I know, quote unquote, we're not supposed to care and it's whatever, but again, it's court of public opinion because they are celebrities. And when it becomes kind of like, and it starts affecting us is because now we have women who are gullible or susceptible to looking up to her, thinking that she embodies some type of empowerment or some type of new age, new era type of woman. And then you got other women now emulating her into their daily lives or trying to portray certain things or whatever. So yeah, that's how it affects us. Because
No.
again, we've complained about these so-called quote unquote basketball wives and the loving hip hop ratchets and all this other shit, which is why we had the cheesecake stupid lady, you know what I'm saying, and the dummies, whatever like that, who keep following these freaking stupid asses, and then again be putting strains on their own relationships, you know, for everyday people like us. So then you got men who are complaining, oh, there's no good girl, no good girl. And again, it's just like, you know, here we go with this shit.
What they doing? Third, what they doing?
You know, there's no good girls out. You know, you know.
Now, what I do think is, with it always being publicized the way it is, every breakup, it is going to kind of taint her. For maybe some men might see her as she's not going to stick through a relationship. Like somebody might really be feeling her. Well, we saw him. Didn't Michael B. Jordan propose to her and she said no? So
supposedly, allegedly, we don't know.
I said, yeah, allegedly, but it's her business is out there in the street to where somebody might not take her as far as a relationship seriously because of the different people that have come and gone. They might see it as that way, and that might backfire on her.
Yeah, I think I agree with the panel today. It's very tricky. What I will give her is she doesn't really say much.
She don't say much, but the guy
or after, you know, she doesn't say anything. So I can respect that aspect of it because it's not like she out here spreading the gossip. So I can't really look at it as clout chasing because she's never said anything, truthfully, you know, worth of any substance in regards to these relationships. Yeah, I think in your early 20s, yeah, you're supposed to date around. You know what I'm saying? You're supposed to
definitely.
You know, people getting married at 18 and 19 is kind of like a long
not it.
Doesn't really happen
too
often, and it typically doesn't work out anyway. When you start that's kind of like a fantasy. But yeah, I think a lot of people are more concerned with it just because of where she comes from. Like if Lori Harvey wasn't Steve Harvey's daughter, I don't think anybody would care because, like I said,
agreed.
Yes,
agreed.
Somebody brought up Taylor Swift. They were like, "Why are we not talking about
no music?
Other people? Come on,
you ain't walking no runway like Fashion Nova giving deals to everybody. Like you can't, like you know what I'm saying,
right?
Like, you know, so that's my take on it. Like I can respect the fact that, you know, even though she's going through it, she's not out here like trying to combat rumors and making statements. It is what it is with her. Like she out here doing her thug easy. Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
I'm doing me. Y'all can watch, but it's my business. So I can respect that because she ain't never said nothing bad about nobody. You know what I mean? Either way,
very
she
true.
Said nothing good, nothing bad. It's all left up to your interpretation. She did
no,
what she
very,
did.
like very true.
And like Dee said, she ain't out here with different babies by different baby daddies.
Nope.
She's not having. She's not calculating divorces. She's not doing any of that stuff. So
this is just the process. That's how I look at it.
And the crazy thing
is,
if she were out there sleeping with multiple guys without dating them, quote unquote, we pass it like nothing happened. We wouldn't even be talking about it. But since we see her, they could be in a relationship. They're walking together. Oh my God. Maybe. So I think,
I'm pretty sure Dee could attest to this, but there's a certain thing called Hollywood. So, no, because Dee knows what I'm getting at. I'm not saying anything about Dee, but Dee knows because she knows some of the same circles that I do, some of the same folks. She has famous relatives in her family, just like I do. And I didn't perform, and Dee sells hair at some of these studios, so I'm pretty sure you've seen some shit.
Yep.
So I'm gonna tell you a little something, right? For those who don't know, just because you don't see them out there, you know, publicly, don't mean anything out. They ain't smashing. I'm telling you, they'll have a boyfriend, they'll have a boyfriend, they'll have a husband, but they'll be in these little clubs. They'll go to little coffee shops. They'll do like little. They smashing. I promise you that. They couldn't.
They're just not their business by it.
That's it.
So then, you know, when it becomes like a power move, when you're trying to really like, you know, create like a brand or become like a brand or like a power couple, then you do the Instagram coming out or the the media coming out where you'll see them holding hands at a movie premiere or or a certain event, maybe like the Met Gala. They're showing up now. It's officially like they're publicly dating, but they could have been smashing all along. Like coincidentally, like Kim and Kanye, they were secretly smashing while she was married to Chris Humphries, allegedly. You get what I'm saying? So, I mean, and actually, I think it started when she was dating Reggie Bush. They were having little hookups here and there, supposedly, allegedly.
Yeah, allegedly. She was too much into Reggie. She was too much into Reggie. She loved his dirty draws.
But still smashing with Kanye, allegedly.
I don't think she really wanted him until later.
Who, Kanye?
Nah. Yeah. I think the whole Kanye thing originally, especially with the whole
he was Amber
by the mom. I don't think the mom's just she is climbing.
Pimp of the year.
Hey, I ain't mad at it though. Shit.
Hey, you know what? That actually brings up. Yeah, that actually brings up a good point because when you look at the history of Kim and all the sisters, that was a major strategic play. Like Madam Mom was on a move. You know what I mean? So she is, top 10 goated madams.
Iceberg Slim ain't got shit on her.
Yeah, she's out there in upper echelon. And now with why y'all say that, that's why I brought it up, because how we know, what I'm saying, Miss Harvey ain't kind of strategically placing some of these things. You know what I mean?
I think that's exactly what she's doing.
She to build her brand. And she quiet as kept too. You know what I'm saying? Like she's from the gutter, so I already know. She done been with the drug dealers and all that. You know what I mean?
She's still with that drug dealer. What you talking about?
So
she's still with that drug dealer.
So let me read what some internet user has said, and this is what I found kind of intriguing, for the lack of better words. Men, would you hate it if we all acted like Lori Harvey? But maybe we should take a page out of her book. My observation. Here's why the male congregation is upset with Lori Harvey. One, she's very disciplined and calls the shots. She controls the direction. There goes that word control, manipulate. Controls the direction of her relationships, and if it no longer suits her, she ends it. Two, she has never produced a child by anyone she's been with. They would love to see her trapped with a baby and then turned around and dragged like they do Sierra. Three, she doesn't kiss and tell. You wake up one day and the relationship is over. No details. She doesn't feed rumors. Four, she don't give a She moves just like them, unfazed, unemotional, and they hate it.
So who's
I read that
talking
same
here?
comment.
This was an internet user, a female.
Okay.
Her name is Esther Rowe. So
just put her
call the government out there. You know what I'm saying?
Public
Ain't that the
opinion.
lady from Good Times?
Hey, you so
Woman with no neck. Damn.
So she don't even know what she's talking about.
not good times. Come on.
Yeah, so we know she ain't got no man.
Damn. The one with no neck, right?
Jesus Christ.
Oh, God.
So I got to ask you, Quest, after hearing this female put that up, what are your 3 cents on that? Do you agree? Are men mad because she's out here moving like them?
No. Clear. Like, we don't care. Like realistically, real men, we don't concern ourselves with the dealings of what women are doing out here on their own free will and cognizance, especially, maybe I speak from a different place because, I'm in a real relationship. So,
Right.
That type of stuff don't bother me anyway, because I was never chasing you or looking towards you to do anything. But to lump men into that category, I think you're dealing with boys when you make mention of stuff like that, because men don't concern themselves with that.
Right.
We're not out here trying to more morale check every woman that's out here doing whatever it is they doing. Because if that was the case, we wouldn't be listening to Sexy Reds and Cardi B's, and like if that was our moral compass, we wouldn't support that. in no form or fashion. So to say that we're butthurt because she's doing what men do, which once again, real men ain't out here doing that. Real men are out here trying to create relationships long term and raise families and be productive citizens. So, to throw us in that. And then the shot at Sierra was like unwarranted.
Yeah.
Sierra just caught a stray with that one. Like, ain't nobody bashing Sierra. Who was out here bashing
Yeah.
and Russell Westbrook? Like they're like the pastor and the first lady right now. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Nothing to them. What are you saying about Sierra that makes sense?
Yeah.
She moved on and did what she was supposed to do and got in a healthy relationship. And now her dude is buying out Waffle Houses that y'all wouldn't go to on no first date.
Right.
He bought her
I'm
master.
saying.
Is that
He
what
bought
we're
her
doing?
master.
Like, I didn't hear nobody
Right.
bash Sierra. I haven't heard that one yet. So whoever this lady is,
That's the future
she
group.
sounds like she's hurt and she just wants to be a freak. And now she's taking this as her gateway to go out here and do whatever it is she want to do because she's been hurt before. That's what I think.
I feel
That's
it.
what said.
Ladies, do you agree with that statement?
Nope.
No.
Nope.
That's why I like y'all.
No.
Y'all
To
got
me,
sense.
it's just a way to justify all the crap that you do, and don't be lumping us in that group because not all of us feel that way. Like,
That's
we
for
really
girls. That's girls.
Thank you.
There's a girl and then there's a woman. Just like there's a freak and there's a lady.
Yeah. I just was talking to my brother, and I was like, I think the problem is a lot. Even myself, sometimes I was viewing on Instagram too much, and you be scrolling through, and all the videos be coming up with this and that. You start talking to random people, then there's random people saying random stuff. Then you start getting offended and fighting. And so I feel like a lot of people in this generation, like decent with girls and with boys, you're fighting about stuff that doesn't concern you. You're talking about stuff that doesn't concern you. The whole Sierra thing, like, even though I don't know how Sierra, like you said, caught that bullet, there's a whole thing that Future has called the Toxic Bible, where he teaches like toxicity. It's just a thing. And people follow it. And so basically he was calling her this and that. And then after Lori Harvey broke with him, there was a whole thing about her being for the streets and all this and that. So people are following those things. They're following these rhetorics, and it's just toxic. And so people become toxic. They're defensive. Everybody got a defense. Basically, if you go through Instagram and the wrong pages and stuff, it's just men versus women all day long. All day long. And for some reason, I said to Third, I said, why has everybody got Black Americans in their mouth? Like, I swear, Asian people, European people. Yeah, well, Black women. I'm like, I asked one guy, have you ever met a Black woman? He's like, I know you. I'm like, okay, so I'm the only Black woman you know, yet you got us in our mouth. And then Asian girls got Black men in their mouth. And then like everybody just talking about Black American men and women. They don't even know who we are. But it's like the propaganda. It's like the thing on Instagram to be fighting about men and women, particularly Black American men and Black American women. So that's where all that toxicity comes from. So even though
we set the trend. I'm gonna say that in my Migos voice. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
We set the trends. That's really it.
That lady who said that stuff needs to get off Instagram and go cleanse.
Everybody want to be us, but don't nobody want to be us.
Exactly. Right. Everybody want to be in there, but don't nobody want to be in there.
They want to pull
as soon as it starts getting hot, they want to run. Yeah, they don't want all the negative stuff that come along with being who we are. They don't want to struggle.
They want to rap. They want to say the N word. They want to be this and that. Then they want to be like, oh my God, Black American men and women are crazy. I'm like, what? Just
Angel came with a stray out of nowhere too.
It was a stray, Angel. I don't know what you're trying to get at, but I think because we mentioned the whole Esther Roll thing, but you're asking between Pam Grier. Huh?
I said, what did Thelma do to anybody? Why she get a shot?
Well, first off, Thelma fine. No disrespect to my lady.
She's asking which one do you think is more beautiful?
Pam Grier.
She's asking.
Hands down.
Oh, the Black women?
Either Pam Grier or Thelma from Good.
Oh no, that's hard, man. That's hard. That's hard. That's hard. Because Thelma's still beautiful to this day.
I think they're all
she really
Black
is.
women. I think they're all good Black women.
I think they're both very beautiful.
You never
even
judge
now
between your Black people. Black women, you should never want to do that to compare them, because see, that's the whole stigma right there. And that's why
Mhm.
sometimes black women feel like they're not good enough for our black men, because black men make us have to try to keep climbing to reach their standards of what they want. And that's not right, because we're not putting you guys to make sure you have a body like Morris Chestnut or whoever, you know what I'm saying? Or
I
The
was getting ready
Rock.
to say, because I mean, y'all, Denzel, Morris, Idris, y'all got, it's the
Who's
same thing,
they?
Oh
man.
no,
Like,
Who
baby,
they
I got some
y'all?
other ones.
I'm
I'm
like,
just
But
who is
saying,
they and who is
it's all for the
y'all?
okay.
sport of it. You know what I'm saying? So ain't nobody comparing you women to like to them. You know what I mean? Or saying
No,
that's
but
the
I'm
standard.
saying trying to set the standard, because when
Right.
you judge in between them, okay, now so now let's say you guys say, okay, Pam Grier, but then what happens to the ones that look like Thelma? You know what I'm saying? That might think like, oh, because I don't have all that luxuries here, or Thelma don't have this and that, or what have you. It could be totally different, or light skin, dark skin, medium, darker. Grace Jones. Grace Jones, very beautiful woman. They used to always say she was ugly, but she is very beautiful. Her skin. But
Mm-hmm.
that's what
I
I'm
agree.
saying. You some girls will compare that, like young girls who listen to these men say this stuff, and the next thing you know, they think, well, then I must not be cute enough. I'm not being like. And let me tell you something. Two of my friends' daughters, two separate ones, they don't know each other. Their daughters, one was going to LSU last year. The other
Mhm.
one, that one, she did commit suicide
Hmm.
because a boy did not like her. They put pressure on her, saying that she was from IE, ugly, and do woo, because she was from California. Then there
Hmm.
was another one. She hung herself on New Year's Eve while her parents
Wow.
went to church. Hung herself with a
Wow.
scarf from her bedpost because she thought she was ugly. And these girls are not ugly. Like, come
Right.
on, you're just barely turning 18 years old. You just now starting to form and get out of, I mean, I had
Right.
braces and everything. You know what I mean? You go through the puberty and stuff, so they don't even understand or get an idea. But sometimes boys, men, young men, they can be so cruel. And don't let these other heifer girls think that they so cute. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's just, I don't think we take it as serious as men should take it. Like when they're judging, they may not mean nothing by it, but I'm just saying, as we
Yeah.
say, young girls are going to follow Lori Harvey. No, a lot of them are listening to what these men are saying,
Mm-hmm.
and then they
But
think they're not cute.
yeah, that's a very valid point. I got daughters, so
I
you know what I
totally
mean.
Right.
agree.
I think it's
You
very
need to always
important.
question them.
Yeah,
Always tell them they're beautiful.
you gotta preach that
Yes.
life into them, man. You have
Yeah.
to.
You have to.
Right.
If you're not telling your daughters they beautiful and they get out here in the
Mm,
world
Mm.
and the world attacks them, it could be
Or will eat you up.
devastating. You know
it
what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
is. And
But
And
that
that's a
internet,
there's a
that's
fine
what you do
line
not want
between
your daughter to go through. Yep.
and
yeah,
that
it's a fine
internet
line
is
between
horrible.
joking and
Yep.
playing. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I joke with my daughters, like, oh, you got a big old head, stuff
Right.
like that,
That's
but
different.
at the end of the day, my
Yeah.
daughters know that they're absolutely beautiful and that all three of them look different,
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
and they're all beautiful for different reasons. And
I used to,
you have to teach them to embrace that beauty, especially
Right.
as a father, because um, just like she said, when you get out there in the world and some random man that you finally fall in love with, and then he breaks you down to your lowest point, and you
Hmm.
take that for face value, and you don't
Mm.
have
Mhm.
any you know what I'm saying, gumption about yourself to be like, man, look, you tripping. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? If you don't want
Yep.
me, that's fine. You're tripping. We're
Right.
not
Mm-hmm.
gonna play like I'm ugly out here. We're not gonna play like I'm just
Mhm.
not shit. My daddy told me I
Right.
was the shit. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Right.
I ain't waiting
Right.
on you to
Right.
say
Yeah.
it. My daddy said it. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? It's
Yep.
Right.
like
Mm-hmm.
you got to give your daughters that. You got to give these young women that. You know what I'm saying? Because
Mm-hmm.
there's a lot of mean spirited people out here. Like, let's be honest,
Mm-hmm.
women and men, well, girls and
Mm-hmm.
boys are mean
Mm-hmm.
spirited. This
Mm-hmm.
happens.
Yes.
You know what I mean? There's a cool
Yep.
kids table at every school. So,
Uh-huh.
I mean,
you know what I
look
mean?
at
If you don't
DC
prepare
Young
your child for that.
Flies. Right. Look at
Yeah.
DC Young Fly's wife. Well, mother of his children. Now she's
Mm.
gone because she still felt like she wasn't pretty enough. It can happen in all races. And look at her.
Yeah.
She still was trying to get a BBL. You already got your man and your career
Your
or
Right.
whatever
kids.
and your
Yeah.
kids. And she still went for that. And look what happened.
Right.
People dying from that stuff, trying to enhance so much.
Exactly. And that's
I
why
think
I
the
tell
Yeah.
problem
people, like,
is that people don't know how
mhm.
to embrace their imperfections. And
Yes.
Mhm.
because nobody's perfect. Nobody walking on God's green earth is perfect. And there may be something about you, like, Quest to say he was joking about his daughter having a big head, but what if that's unique? What if that makes you stand out? So you have to teach your daughters or the young ladies coming up to embrace that, saying, to highlight, wherever makes them different, embrace it. You know what I'm saying? I think a lot of it's just insecurity. You know what I'm saying?
There's
A lot of insecurity.
you
A
know.
lot,
Yeah.
This generation is plumb, like the whole media. Even when you watch like online, you'll see a lot of stories about ladies after they gave birth. Oh, my husband doesn't like me anymore because I'm not sexy. So then he cheats. So then you have this concept. So ladies are like, okay, I have a baby, then I get a tummy tuck, and I'm like, why? I mean, I had a mom that had 9 kids. Surgery wasn't even a question or not. We didn't have that concept. But it's like if you're growing up online, you're eating this stuff up. Oh, I gotta look sexy all the time because he's not gonna like me anymore. So I have my baby, I gotta get a tummy tuck. And it's like she said, you already have a husband and stuff, but people are taking these insecurities, and not just insecurities for women, men have insecurities too in other ways. I heard one young boy, not even 16 years old, talking about, because he's in this whole red pill thing, talking about, if I go broke, I'm leaving my wife and kids because I'm basically useless. And I'm like, what? He's like, yeah, because I gotta be a man, I gotta take care. So the moment I go broke, I'm not a man anymore. I walk away from my family. And I'm just looking at him like, I'm sorry, what? My dad was sick for the last 12, 13 years of his life. He had 9 kids and a wife. He couldn't work. We worked. We needed our dad there. I'm like, do you really, is social media really convincing girls that if you're not porn level sexy, and boys that if you're not Jeff Bezos level rich, you're useless? Like,
but
what is this?
I'm not necessarily sure about that, but again, it's influencing the younger generation, especially of women, where you have, like Dee said, you have girls who are basically emulating some of these folks, like the Lori Harveys or the Suki Hanas, the Sexy Reds. They're seeing that how. It might be partially our fault. They're seeing how some of us men respond to it, like, oh, she's hot and this and that. So then they want to go try to act extremely ratchet, or or they're thinking that this is the new cool. And like that poet said, it's like you want to say you F nigga free, but then you want a good man in the same line. It just how does it work? You know what I'm saying? It's an oxymoron. So it's a double standard, and it's just not going to really work.
Yeah, it's a rough campaign, man. I hate to sound like the old head. Back in my day, you know what I mean? But truthfully speaking, like back when we was in high school and middle school, we didn't have all these outside influences. You know what I'm saying? There wasn't a plethora of information being spewed at us constantly all day. Like, we had TV and commercials. But we didn't have Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, TikTok, you know what I mean, Twitter. Like, all these, and most of these children are subscribed to all of these platforms, you know what I'm saying, in some form or fashion. So when they look into something, and then you got the algorithm on top of that showing them, oh, you want to be beautiful, this is what beauty is. Boom, 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 boom. You want to be a alpha male, here's all the information, boom, 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 boom. Like, you know what I'm saying, they're getting barraged with all this flow of influx of information that may not necessarily be true. You know what I'm saying? And your job as a parent is to try to combat 16 hours worth of them scrolling and screen time and influences at school, with maybe the 4 or 5 hours that you at home, and actually paying attention to your kids to give them the information they need to be productive human beings. Like, it's an uphill battle, and it's crazy that these kids have to make these decisions at 10, 11, 12, to decide they're going to be beautiful for the rest of their life because they see something on Instagram, or you know what I mean? Like, it's wow. We didn't have that much. Like, we 30 dozens out here, you know what I'm saying?
Shoot, I had Soul Train and Jet Beauty. Remember Jet Beauty? I was gonna be Jet Beauty, baby.
Hey, that one page, boy, Jet Beauty of the week, boy.
I used to love. I was
taking my mama magazine. Let's see who the beauty is. Let me see that thing.
Oh shoot! Couldn't
The
tell me
legs, the
nothing.
legs, the legs. I
I was
remember
gonna be
those.
on. I was gonna be on Soul Train going down that line.
Yeah, no. But
Man.
that was our
So
reality,
I was
man.
Yep.
you said what, Kendra?
I said I was a little different, raising my two because you got to give boys some love too because with strangers, even family, they would come up and I kids and they'll be like, my son's a little darker than me, and then baby girl is mixed, so they'll come up and be just compliment her. Oh, you so pretty and stuff, and I have to you see my son here? What you saying? He's ugly because he ain't, light skinned.
Come on.
I ain't finna compliment just one of my kids, and they sitting here together.
Yeah.
So, and he started noticing that the older he got, and started to get. So that's why I would have to check people. Like, no, you're not just gonna talk to one of my kids and say they cute, and the other one is sitting there looking like, well, where's my compliment?
Right.
With
That's right, Mama.
too, also, I had to stop people from telling her she's cute or she's pretty because it went to her head. And like, I don't care what I think, but no. Like, my brother would come, oh, you so pretty, so pretty. I'd be like, stop. Don't tell her that. Stop. And still, till this day, she grew up thinking because she's light-skinned and we not light like her, she's better than us. And she feels that way.
Really?
She light-skinned, mixed, got long, pretty hair. She thinks she better.
I had a sister like that. That's not even light skinned. One of my sisters.
Wow.
It's real.
That's all I gotta say.
I didn't
wow.
mean to laugh, but the fact that you would, I got a sister like that, and she's not even light skinned.
No, I'm just being honest. Like she said stuff like that, and we just wasn't like,
sorry.
huh? Nobody in our
That's
family
crazy though.
Yeah, so
that's mad crazy.
Earlier, nobody heard me. It's a catch-22.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, that's wild.
Yeah, we gotta stop, I guess, letting these rhetorics run in our society without kind of like, especially in our siblings, the younger ones, like letting them get that idea without checking that idea.
Yeah, you gotta nip that in the butt.
You gotta check that idea.
Well,
when you get
my
those
question
ideas,
before we move on, I guess because again, Lori Harvey is the daughter of Steve Harvey, a love guru. And that's the one thing that kind of annoys me within these days is that there's a lot of women who listen to the Steve Harveys, they listen to the Derek Jacksons, they listen to whoever, and they get these advices from them, or they hold whatever words that they say true to heart. And I mean, they'll put us through the ringer, mind it. Steve said, or Derek Jackson said, but then when you look at it and you're looking at their lives aren't necessarily matching what they're preaching. Especially the Derek Jackson, he was Mr. Christian, Mr. Talk about love, and this, and that. And he out here, he takes a little bit of fame. He out here living his life like a bad bitch. So
that
I
man
don't.
is listen,
he think he a bad bitch, you know what I'm saying? Like
the first people start a petition against him to get him offline. See, because I was telling my brother, you can tell people by the way by the spirit, by the way they talk. I knew. So when his whole thing came out, we had already done the petition to get him offline. A whole bunch of us signed it, and he actually got kicked offline. And then when he came back and kind of whistled his way back online, all his stuff came out. Talk about if your man does like this, he was cheating on his wife with like 100 different women. This man was evil this man is evil up close. Sorry, I just have to say I don't like
all
that
because
guy.
she had a bonnet. But again, it's the whole thing about manipulation. Just because she had a bonnet, she may seem a little strange now, but I think he played a huge part in that. You know what I'm saying? Like
in her insecurities, I think he fed a lot into that.
Ooh, he did. I heard
looking at her as a person, and even his apology to her, the way she looked there, she looked like she was a captive. You know what I'm saying? Like,
it really did.
Yeah, that looked like a ransom tape. You know what I'm saying? Like if you want your daughter back,
right?
You know what I'm saying? Like
right.
It was kind of spooky, but I mean that just goes to speak, like, for the people that most of these individuals are taking advice from, they're trying to give you the very best version scenario of them.
Mhm.
They're not giving you real life situations.
Facts.
Everything looks good on the gram. You know what I'm saying? Like
Facts.
just us as individuals. I'm not gonna get on Instagram and post me having a fucked up day.
That's
You know what
right.
I'm saying? I'm gonna keep it to myself.
Smile for
And I'm
Jared.
still put out some positivity if I can and try to motivate somebody while I'm going through my bullshit. But I'm not gonna get on there and like, you know what, today, look at me. I'm just out here bull. I ain't got no money. I'm broke. This my life. Like, ain't nobody getting on there to do that. They getting on there to give you the very best possible version of them all day, every day. And then you taking that for face value, like that's how your life should be. Life doesn't work like that.
Right.
Life is full of ebbs and flows. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
It goes up, it goes down. There's gonna be some pitfalls. There's gonna be some high times, but you got to fight through all that. That's what life is about. Everything is not. You know what I'm saying? Let me stop.
Right.
That shit bothers me. It does.
Yeah.
Like, quit making people.
But to
think
be
that
fair,
you're so
personally,
amazing.
I don't put Steve Harvey and Derek Jackson in the same box, to be fair. My point of view. But that's just me personally.
I mean, they kind of are. I mean, the same way that, you know, women get mad at men for listening to Kevin Samuels.
Hello?
You know what I'm saying? I mean,
But that's what
it's
I'm saying.
the same
I feel
thing.
like Derek Jackson and Kevin Samuels are more the same. I don't see Steve Harvey as a Kevin Samuels personally. Even though a lot of men would say, oh, well, he seems to lean more to woman's side. I don't see him as a Kevin Samuels. The ideologies are not the same. When I talk Kevin Samuels or Derek Jackson, in my opinion, I talk extreme. I'm the one who literally started the first petition against Derek Jackson. That's extreme, in my opinion. His stuff was extreme. It was like, nah, get this guy offline. Like, it went from ladies being like, yeah, to ladies being
well,
like, wait a
again,
minute.
Steve Harvey is the author of Think Like a Man, Act Like a Lady. Whatever, however you say it, is Think Like a Man.
Yeah.
There was a book behind it, and there was a movie. And again, women have flocked to this book, and they use it as almost like the love Bible. And they will, I went out with a one before who did the whole 90-day rule. And if a man respected me, he's going to do this and do that. And again, manipulating situations. But again, they're pretty.
Weren't there some things in there? I mean, at least from my point of view, the way I was raised, I mean, we don't do the 90-day rule. We do until marriage. But isn't that something that a lot of men are kind of screaming about? Because when I hear men online, oh, girls are hoes these days. Why are they always giving it up? Then it's like, so what are we actually looking for? We want a woman who, I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, Edward. Edward.
Because
get him, D.
You won't, Edward.
It doesn't sound like from the rules that were in the thing. I've
the name says third.
I don't see the bad part. I do see where a lot of maybe guys who are not as serious about maybe marrying you will be like, bye, exit stage left. But isn't that what we're pushing?
Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. Here's the
What you
thing.
gotta say?
Yeah. Okay.
So, like again, Quez, you can back me up too.
Quest ain't in that.
Oh, yeah.
No, so ask the question because I lost my train of thought. What was the question, or what was it?
Would you want your woman to wait 90 days, or would you wait till marriage, or do you want her to give it to you in 2 weeks or 2 days?
Right.
What's the timeline you
what
gonna
do you
wait?
respect more? What would you want your daughter to do? What would you
What
want your
would I
daughter?
want my daughter to do?
What would you want your daughter to do?
That's the
I
real
would want my.
Even when I look at men now.
So you want an honest answer, or do you want the politically correct answer?
I want your answer. What you gonna do?
Give me your
So
answer.
again, so with me being out there before, I mean, again, if we're talking about this is like a woman who I want to potentially invest my time and energy into,
right,
and someone who I actually want to take serious, then yes, I want to keep the sex part of it or the physical part of it out. That should be the last thing that you're thinking about before you actually think about actually jumping into a marriage. But again, as a man, you have to be honest and real with yourself. So again, if you do not feel like you can settle down or you want to be with this person, whatever like that, say it. Say it to yourself. Say it to the person who you're talking to, because there are women who are moving just like men, or who probably think just like men, that they don't necessarily want to be in a relationship. So I believe that if you're an adult, a consenting adult, and you choose to do whatever it is, whether it's the first night, the second night, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, whatever, then that is your choice. I don't necessarily think that makes you a hoe. I don't think that makes you a bad person. You know what I'm saying? Chemistry is one thing, and it happens. And you have to be honest with yourself and realize that, real shit really happens to real people. Things happen. So we have this preconceived notion or this imagination of wanting to be something. You know, we can all live the fairy tale or the idealistical thing of it, but the reality is when real shit happens, as a man, if you have a woman pressing up on you, wait, no,
Right, right,
no,
right.
it's
No.
just not a real thing.
Right. But the thing, what I'm saying is, these ladies are coming crying, "Oh man, this man played me. I want to get married. I was trying," and he's telling them, "Look, if you want to get married, if there was a guy who was coming, like you said, a guy was actually coming and actually was looking to court you and marry you, sex would be the last thing on his mind. Maybe not the last thing, but come on, the last, not as important. But if he wasn't trying to do that, he was just trying to,
Not like
enjoy
real,
his night and
real
go.
shit with my lady.
Right.
Like again, when we went out, the last thing I was thinking about was sex. I wasn't thinking about, I wonder how she looked good in this bed or naked or anything.
Exactly.
It wasn't anything about that. It was like, hey, you like music, and we connected on a whole different level, like with music and different things, where it really was like the furthest thing for it. And then it was like, oh yeah. And what about this? And I'm telling you about, it was maybe like 2 or 3 weeks later when it finally entered in my mind. But by that time, it was just the furthest thing from. But again, it was someone who I was genuinely interested in. Now, if we're talking about the whole aspect of, again, just out there, I guess, Lori Harvey dating, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't really necessarily care about all the other particulars, and I'm just keeping it a buck. If we're here to do whatever it is we got to do, then that's what we're here to do. I don't give a fuck. You ain't going to know. I'm not even buying you McDonald's.
And that's what I think Steve is saying to these ladies. There are guys who don't like you like that. They'll come. They'll maybe wine you and dine you a bit, but what am I getting for that? There's guys take you on a date.
Hold on a second, adoration. Go ahead, Quest.
I wanted to say, like, as men, we typically know before we even talk to you where we're headed.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like our decision making process is pretty simple. Like we're pretty rudimentary about this shit. It ain't like we can see you in the club and be like, oh, that's wifey. Or we see you in the club like, I'm gonna knock that down. You know what I'm saying?
Period.
Like, we make decisions instinctively. You know what I'm saying? From a predator, maybe predatory sense is not a good word, but from you know what I'm saying?
That's exactly correct. That's what I'm saying. He's
from
teaching
the mindset
these things
that we're natural hunters, and you know what I'm saying. We got testosterone, and you know what I mean. We got a certain innate ability in us to want to do certain things. So when we see women, we typically from the very beginning, it's very, very few times, unless you just weird, that you find a woman like, oh yeah, I want to marry her, and then it turned into something else, or vice versa. Like, oh, I see, I want to hit that. You know what I'm saying? She out here shaking it all in the club. You know what I'm saying? Coochie print popping out. You know what I'm saying? Cheeks out. You know what I mean? Like, we're not trying to turn you into wifey at all.
Exactly.
Now, if you get some and you get turned out, then that's you. But most of the time, we're not like, once we put you in that category of just sex, it's hard to remove yourself from that, because we done already stigmatized you with our perception, and we don't see nothing wife-like about you. You know what I'm saying?
Speaking of but true.
Good time.
That's true.
We're gonna have fun like hell. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
She probably got Melvin is
Period.
in the building. Dogs gotta eat. That's one of them scenarios. The dogs gotta eat.
Listen,
and
but that's why though he's saying, understand how men think. That's what the book is about. Think like a man. Because girls, we don't think like that. We just don't. We don't understand it. We can't fathom thinking like that. So we have to learn. Well, you think, okay, if I love a guy, then I'll give my body to him. So if he sleeps with me, he must love me. It's not the case. And so he more so is trying to teach you how to understand men. On the other side with Derek Jackson, the reason why I don't like him, he's that guy, well, it's your nigga on a podcast, then he don't love you. It's your nigga walking down the street, you know what I mean, in his slippers. What man would walk out in his slippers and walk back in the house with those same slippers? That's not a man. That's the problem with him. He's just, you gotta go. That's what I'm saying. There's a difference, in my opinion.
He a whole weirdo
Harvey,
anyway. Like I said, he living his life like a bad bitch. But again, so my thing is like, but Steve Harvey, he preaching this, right? But how come his daughter? Well, maybe she is thinking like a man. God damn it.
But
But I'll tell you like that
we don't
though.
really know what's
You
going on.
just had a revelation, didn't you?
I had an epiphany.
God.
Maybe she is thinking like a man. She is thinking like a man. You know, but again, I think, you know, the one thing as far as even men too, we do look at the whole thing like, man, that thing might got a lot of baggage, a lot of mileage on it.
But that's right. But like I'm saying, though, we don't
there's
really know
somebody
what's
out here to
happening
willing to take a
in those
chance on that
relationships.
used vehicle. You know
Right.
They're gonna put some rims on it, tint the windows, put some beat in the trunk. You know what I'm saying? There's somebody always willing to take that hoopty and turn it into something. So mileage don't matter no more.
Listen, I don't got
That's a thing of the past.
If I'm able to walk straight in it, I don't know if it's for me. But you know,
yeah,
that part. And I'm gonna tell you honestly, I've been in situations where, you know what I mean, somebody done threw it at me, and I'm like, oh no,
yeah,
I'm good now. Like, you know what I'm saying? We was doing good for a moment, but you know the fact that you throwing it, I don't even want it no more. Like, you know, that was too easy. Yeah. So, and I know I'm not the best looking dude out here. So if you just threw it at me like that, who else has got a shot at this? Like you just in the situation. Like, yeah, you can have it. Let's get it. Come on. No, ma'am, no, I'm good. I think I'm gonna save myself here. You know what I mean? So. You know, not all men are out here just taking it all. Like, no, I don't want
not
that.
at all.
If you're throwing it, I'm not catching. I'm sorry. I don't want to catch it.
Amen.
Good.
Amen.
You keep that
all
to
right.
yourself.
Like you said, like let the congregation say amen.
Amen.
These are, I'm here knowing. What's goes on, D?
I ain't going to hell saying amen. Shoot. I don't when I throw mine,
my bad. I did not mean to offend.
when I throw mine, it gets caught. So.
Hey, look, shut up, B.
I'm just saying, don't get mad at me because they got a glove and catch it.
Hey, my goodness. See?
Try to tell y'all. Sure.
Melvin says D's got
grown.
You not
That's
out
what I'm
here
saying.
You're not out here throwing that thing like that.
How you know what I'm doing?
You're not doing that.
You don't know my business.
We synced it. We synced you out there chasing the security guard.
Well, you know what? He's still mad about that. So
security.
He's still mad about that. That security came back up like, you not on your podcast? And old boy was looking like, if you don't get your ass over here and sit down. And I said, I should have doubled back and got them digits. That's what I should have did.
That's what that was. He's a security guard.
That's what I meant. No, he had other stuff going on. It's okay if as long as they got potential to move more. He even said he got, real estate.
Damn, put my feet's off the ground in case lightning strike. Whatever. Wow.
You didn't hear what he was saying? Y'all wasn't paying attention.
No, we couldn't hear nothing. When you was out there.
You was in the wind like Pocahontas and shit,
He even said that McDonald's shouldn't be what no man want. He's been investing. He's got real estate he keeps flipping, and that's the best thing. That's why I should have doubled back, because we could have done good business, and should have left the nigga out. I mean, the dude out there with.
Because he had money, huh?
Bro, so you out here, Lori Harvey too, huh?
No, but I'm saying because if you got somebody on the same level as you, that want to build, then you can build more up. You know what I mean?
No, that's very important.
I do real estate.
That's very true, though, D.
You know what I mean? I don't just do hair; I do real estate too. So
that's very true.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. And the one that I, been wasting my time with, he act like his wallet is allergic to the daylight or something.
Period.
But again, like you hit a nail on the head, D. Like I got chastised and criticized for saying like, I want a woman to match my energy, match my efforts. And and the man's supposed to lead. The man's supposed to do it. But again, like I said, you want someone who's going to match your energy. Because again, especially as a man, right? Huh?
Yeah.
That's how you grow. I always say use the term, the example. If you in a row, you know how they be in a rowboat and they have them races? You got to row in sync. So how you gonna have him just lead? He just gonna row and you not gonna row? You both gotta row. and she
That
can't
boat
just
gonna be
roll
going in
either.
circles.
Right,
'Cause I'm not,
exactly. No,
yeah,
that's
I don't think L.
very, very important thing you just had. The lady can't
Right.
just roll by herself either. So
No, I don't
that's
take no
very, very
L.
true.
Yep.
Period.
So
I
that's
told
But
what
my
I
again,
wanted
brother
to
the
That boat
other
say.
ain't
day.
going nowhere. And it ain't going
I told my
nowhere
brother,
fast.
he said, when am I supposed to look for in a wife? I said, go to the Bible. Read that Proverbs chapter 31, the virtuous woman. That lady had businesses all up and down the street. She was handling business. She wasn't no stupid lady sitting around doing nothing who didn't understand anything.
Yeah.
That's not
Right.
what the Bible's talking about. Look for. No, be equally yoked. You got to be with somebody that has your same energy. I told him,
Right.
look for
word.
somebody
Gotta
that
be
you can build
equally
with.
yoked.
Forget all this.
So,
Can she cook? Can she clean? Can she cook? Can she clean? Can y'all build something?
but just, and I
Can
want to
y'all
emphasize
build
this because I
something?
guess some ladies missed it before. Like Quez said, what's up, Miss Cynthia? How you doing? Again,
Uh,
you know, this whole thing about this whole 50-50-ish, and we're gonna jump into. We've spent way too much time on Lori Harvey than
I
I
know.
intended.
I
So,
gotta go soon too.
huh?
I said I know I gotta go soon too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But yeah,
okay.
so again, this whole thing with 50-50, whatever, it's again, my personal belief is 100-100. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you got your woman working, it shouldn't be a thing where she has to go work and,
Yeah.
you know, she has to come home and she has to cook, she has to clean and tend to the kids. No, you're able to do some of the stuff too. You're the helpmate also. So you're working and you get off, you know, you help chip in, you help wash some dishes, you help cook.
Right.
You know, especially if you're getting there
Mhm.
before her, you know what I'm saying? So therefore you're taking the load off. You're not just dumping everything on your wife. You
Yeah.
know what I'm
Facts.
saying? So
Right.
But
that's
I
what
think a
real
lot
men
of
do.
people miss the key component in that verse when it says you have to be equally yoked. A lot of people don't know what a yoke is and
Come
what it's
on.
for. You know what I'm saying? A yoke is for you to, you know, attach two animals to lighten the load that one animal would necessarily have to do. So
Mm.
when you're equally yoked, that means you both are prepared to do the work. You're both
Yes.
prepared
Word.
to tackle these obstacles and plow that field. You know what I'm saying? That's what the yoke is for. It's so that, you know, I'm the head of the household, so I take the yoke by myself and run up the field.
Mm-mm.
Or you the woman in relationship, so you take that yoke and you run all the kids and everything that has to do with that all by yourself. No, we're
Mm-mm.
equally yoked in all departments. So we have to take that energy that we both have and put it towards the better good the entire
Amen.
time. But because people don't know what the yoke is for, they
Mm.
get to these arguments about I'm not finna do this and I'm not finna do that. When you equally yoked, there's no there's no titles, there's no, you know what I'm
Come
saying?
on.
There's no levels to this. Like we're equally yoked. We just got to get it done. Are we gonna get
Yes.
it done? That's
Come
what it's
on.
really about. Are we gonna reach financial security or not? Are we gonna
Right.
raise these kids to be the best that they can be or not? You know what I'm saying? Are we gonna create generational wealth or not?
Come
That's
on.
what the yoke is for. And Melvin, I hate you, sir.
What did he say?
With passion. Melvin says,
We're
I
not
like
talking
egg
about
yolks.
egg yolks. We're talking about Y-O-K-E, the yolk. You know what I'm
I
saying?
got
Let me
you got
stop.
that right. I like shrimp
You
fried
better
rice, Elvin, with that
you better
egg
All
yolk.
right.
Fuck them kids.
I just thought I'd drop that
Damn.
bar on y'all real quick. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no
I'm
pretense.
just
Nah,
you
nah,
kidding.
better
Quez,
start a
that was
church,
dope what you
Quez.
said. That was dope.
Period.
Yo, so moving on to the next. You know, so again, like we touched on Jeezy and his interview with Nia Long last week. And you know, there was a lot of stuff that came out of there where he was talking about mental health, talking about his childhood, being molested as a child,
Mm.
and you know, talking about his divorce. And you know, part of me believes that you know he was saying a lot of the stuff, you know, spit some kind of bars, you know, to be on the good side of Miss Nia Long. But at the end of the day, though, I mean, there was a lot of resourceful stuff that I think that is going to open up a lot of dialogue that we definitely must have amongst ourselves as far as the people. And
Yes.
one of the things he was talking about was having a safe space to vent and to be vulnerable, and
Mm.
needing women, you know, for that. And I'll go ahead and I'll play the clip so you can just hear what he has to say.
And, you know, I got to give you your flowers. As a man, I just hope that women, our women, Black women in particular, can see this
Yeah.
and give us a safe space. Really, women all the way across the board, because we as men, like we're hurting, and there's no safe place for us to land. There's no safe place for us to have these conversations. We can't have it with our homies. We can't have it with our brothers and our partners because they don't have that empathy there, right? They don't have that mothering, that nurturing thing.
Ooh, I like how he said that though.
Damn, D is savage. She just laughed at the man Jeezy. He was pouring his heart out to Nia Long, and you just gonna just ha.
He full of shit.
Oh,
he trying
Why-
to sell his book.
why do you say that, D?
Because first of all, just like Melvin said last week, he a drug dealer. How you gonna give out advice? How you gonna act like you so sensitive? You was a drug dealer. He just trying to sell his book. Like for real, for real. I don't buy that shit. If you a man and got a backbone, you choose the correct woman you mesh with, you're gonna automatically, you guys got a connection, you're gonna be bonding like that and open up to each other. You know what I'm saying? But he want to sit here and we don't get empathy and we don't do, we can't talk to our homeboys. Now that's acting like a bitch. I'm sorry. That's how I feel.
Oh, come on.
Acting like a bitch. Man up. You born with a backbone. You know what I'm saying? Stop eating Cheerios and get your ass some damn oatmeal and shut the hell up. Like, for real, dude. If you get a good woman and y'all bonding, you're going to have that empathy. You guys are going to bond together. You can cry in front of each other. You can do whatever you got to do because you building together. You got a tight bond. Otherwise, that ain't the woman for you. But, I mean, come on. Do you have time to cry nowadays? Stop it. Get up, dust yourself off, get your ass to work, and do what you got to do in life. But cut it out. Cut it out. I don't buy it.
See, that's part of the problem. So I put up a post from a woman who says, "Dear men, please vent to women. We love you and we do care." I did the D laugh. Nah.
I
It
saw
seems
your
like,
post, but why you say that? Don't you and your woman know y'all got
hey,
that bond,
listen.
That.
That's the key word in listening.
That's what
I
I'm
just
trying to
don't
teach
believe.
y'all.
No, because again, a lot of women will say it, and for me, I'm not necessarily saying mine or even my ex, but a lot of women will say, "Yeah, come vent and talk to me and pour into me." But then, it is a trust thing because they'll turn around and they'll flip it and they'll use it on you. Am I
That's
lying,
a girl. That's
Right.
a
I have
girll.
something to say on that.
No, because here's the thing: it's not necessarily a girl. It's that people get hurt, and it hurt people when it hurt people. So they're gonna look for the easiest type of way to try to throw something back into your face. Oh yeah, that's why you was crying to me like a little bitch when you ladies. He's a bitch. He ain't just like you're saying about him. It's just like, all
But
right,
does it
so
hurt your feelings?
no. So I'm
What does
just
that
saying.
do to your
So if
life,
I can't be
though?
vulnerable with you, then who can I be vulnerable with?
The
And that's
next
why
one?
we suck it up, we shut up, and we go about our business.
Be with the next one, and it might work out better for the next one, or whatever. Choose better next time. I mean, just like I'm sure, like now with Quest, open up to his woman. They have their moments. You know what I'm saying? But they building. I mean, it just goes until you get the right person. But you can't say, "Oh, you hurt my feelings." So what? She throw it at you. Throw something back at her. It's immature anyway. You can't hear it if you're not standing
So
there.
tit for tat, how do you gain anything from that?
But that's what I'm saying. You don't have to hear it if you're not standing there. Who cares what she want to say? That shows her immature. I mean, because a woman can still say, "Oh, well, you ain't got no good dick game." You know what I mean? It don't even have to be about you opened up to her. It could be, we could come at you about your dick game. It could be whatever. But I mean, that shows the immaturity of her, how stupid she looks. So at the end of the day, you just keep it moving. Okay, let me find the next one. Let her be sorry that she messed up.
I'm glad you clarified that, because I was on the other side for a second.
You always on the other side. That's
break
all
it
right.
down, Quest.
Don't do that, D. I'm not always on the other side. You know what I'm saying?
Come on
yeah,
back
no,
over.
we're not doing that shit.
I try to look objectively, D. Don't do me like that. I be trying to, you know what I'm saying, find the silver lining in everything.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But I think you clarified it right there at the end that, that may just not be your person.
Right.
And I think a lot of people are trying to force themselves into situations with people because they're comfortable. And it's not really the best situation for you. And sometimes God tried to move you out of there and you fight. You know what I'm saying? Maybe she said that because that was supposed to be your one-way ticket out of there. Like, man, I opened up to you and you attacked me, but let me still find a way to make this work. No, that is a horrible individual. Any person that takes something that you gave to them in your most vulnerable self and uses that as ammunition to hurt your feelings, it's not a great person. That's a manipulative person for the word of the day. Like, we should be moving around from them. Like, you definitely got to get away from that.
Right, and maybe you opened up too soon.
But again, so playing advocate, let me play advocate. We just heard Jeezy, spilling his little heart out to Nia Long, and then we had a person like D. Ha, bullshit. He trying to just sell a book. I mean, me on the outside looking in as a man, was like, damn, I mean, I'm over here pouring my heart out, and this is the reason why I stay shut down and I don't necessarily, open up and be vulnerable. And then, a lot of times where I feel like too within women, a lot of the arguments, if you ever get into an argument with a woman, or, sometimes it becomes really just all about them. They're not taking into consideration anything that you have to say. You can sit there and verbally communicate your feelings, but they'll bypass it in order to get to their point or to make you do whatever it is that you want to do. So again, it's that whole mentality of what you said, just shut up and just go along with it. I mean, that's essentially what we do. And then like we find other ways to release and vent, which is sometimes unhealthy, which we pour into alcohol or we pour into drugs or we pour into other women. Because if you have another woman coming over trying to give you that space or give you something that you're not getting from your quote unquote wife or your partner, then it creates another problem and you're not handling it maturely. You know what I'm saying? So it creates a hole in the avenue.
He had a whole wife, you know what I'm saying, that loves his dirty draws, you know what I'm saying? But how hard did he try to keep his marriage? How hard did he try? It looked like to me they only been together for like maybe a year, maybe 2 years.
Like 2 years?
That's about it. So how hard are you trying? Are you really trying? Because a real man gonna try harder because now you're a husband. You took them vows. So if you promised her this and now you got a whole baby, do you want your baby in a separate household now, 2 households? So how hard did he try? You know what I'm saying? So that's why I call it bullshit. You got to call bullshit when it's bullshit because he's not proving that he's a big stand-up man. Like I tried all I could and she still just shot me, down. Still, it ain't gonna work, or she abused me, or her mouth. Jeannie is not that tight. She ain't gonna, you know what I mean? She's so heartbroken over him, like he got gold draws. You know what I mean? And she still want her husband, but it's like he's like no, and there's never been nothing that said that what he's really mad about. You know what I mean? But why would you cause your daughter another child to be raised in a separate household? So that's why I'm saying I can't take him serious about that. But at the end of the day, like what Quest said, you know what I mean? When you choose the right one, I think a lot of times, sometimes men might open up too quick because you got some men out here that they just, after the first date, hell, they already opened up and crying about what their ex did to them. You know what I mean? But I'm talking like, like that kind of dude. But I mean, if a dude and we've been together for some years and we're in a relationship been long or we're married, I would never take that as a joke. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Exactly,
I'm gonna be there to back my man up and get to the problem. What's going on with you? Is there some type of mental illness? Is something going on? Let's talk about it. Let's do this. But I mean, I'm not going with no crybaby now. You know what I mean?
To you and to Mel,
I want to say something.
He did go to therapy. He said him and Jimmy did go to therapy, and it still didn't work.
I didn't hear that part. I heard that he that she wanted to do a therapy, but he said that he didn't feel it was going to do anything.
He told Nia Long
she didn't know they were getting divorced.
That they did go to therapy.
Look, this is the problem though. Yeah, you can go to therapy as a couple, and when you go to couples therapy, you talk about couple shit.
There you go.
But when you go to therapy for yourself, you talk about what's wrong with you.
Right.
Come on.
You know what I mean? When you in couples therapy, it's easy to point fingers.
Yes.
And, you know what I'm saying? Bring up scenarios that bothered you. It's not really addressing the issue with you as an individual. So before you get into a relationship or you marry somebody, if you haven't healed yourself, you already going into a situation that is going to be volatile. So I think Melvin hit it right on the head.
Yeah.
He needed therapy for himself.
Yes.
The couples
I don't-
therapy would have been great
Yeah.
afterwards, but
Yep.
before he got in that relationship, he should have
Mhm.
did certain things to make sure he was healed as an individual. Because
Come on.
her interaction with you as a man wouldn't have been so detrimental if you were already healed and feeling comfortable about yourself.
Right.
That's how I'm viewing the whole Jeezy
He
thing.
has
I don't
been.
know them as individuals. I don't know them personally, but I'm just saying the way that worked out. Like you have some stuff that you need to deal with, and people are so afraid to be alone. You know what I mean? That they jump from
That's the
relationship to
problem.
relationship without really dealing with the traumas that affected them from the last one. You jump into the next one trying to fix somebody and have that person fix you. And that's not how relationships work. So
come on, Quest.
That's my
Let me
three
say
cents.
something.
Adoration, what did you have to say?
I'm sorry, because I gotta jump on another call with my mom in a minute. But I did want to say something. I guess I'm partial between both sides, both arguments or whatever. I was talking to my brother about this just before the podcast. I feel like, first of all, exactly what Melvin said, our men do need therapy. And I don't think it's because, they're crazy. No, I think it's because society, just like society, women, we have a bone to pick with society. I think men have a bone to pick with society in the way that, you know what I mean? Oftentimes, even if your mother's not saying it or your father's saying it, not saying it, the society is saying it. Men don't cry, men don't this, men don't that. So I've noticed for a lot of guys, the only emotion they're comfortable expressing themselves through is anger. It's anger.
Well, damn, she gone.
I'm sorry.
She dropped
So
her
I think
nugget and bounced.
Damn, girl.
I'm sorry. My mom
She Casper to go. She pop in and pop out.
was calling me. I think that there's two sides to the coin. I think that on one side, our men do need therapy. We can't, and we have to teach them, because a lot of times what you learn as a man is the only person that you can pour yourself out to is a woman who cares about you and loves you. And so, like Dee said, I do meet a lot of men. I have a lot of male friends because I was tomboy growing up. So it's like the dump is a lot, and you can't really help everybody. You know what I mean? It's not. We say it's not a woman's job to fix a man, and a lot of times, one, that's what girls we learn, and that's what boys learn. So they're like, I'm looking for a woman. And I said to my guy friend, because I said it was Men's Mental Health Month, so I was like, my phone is open for this month because, everybody's always calling me, giving me their 17 million cents on how it's going. Well, how's your relationship? What does she see? Life. That's just how it is.
Not the 17 million
So
cents.
I mean,
hold on. Before you go, I have to play advocate real quick. No. Hold on a sec. Put a toothpick in that because
Who
again,
says 17 million cents.
because
Quest, how much is that?
No, because again, so that same post that I put up, there was a certain specific comment, and I will read this comment. So, hey, dude, I said, so man, I said, hey, we tried, but we're tired. I think a lot of men need therapy before they can get there, though. Women, we're just different. We get bashed for being emotional all the time, but we don't care what people think because we're used to being put down. I say, if you want to get better, put down the ego and get help. It's the only way.
That's a bar.
I agree, but that's what I said. But the
road to get there was kind of tricky, but at the end,
I understand. But hear out why I said that, though, because during Men's Mental Health Month, with all the suicides that men go through, because there's a lot of men committing a lot of suicide, and with all the suicides that men go through, you know what I mean? Like I said, I got a lot of male friends, so I'm trying to be, there for my. You need to talk. Call me up, you know what I mean? Whatever you got to say, spill it out, because you got to let out your emotions somehow. But then I get a lot of backlash from it. Oh, no, women don't want to. Oh, and then in the comment section, there's women like, yeah, men speak, cry. Men in the comments, no, that's gay. No, that's something like, if you don't allow yourself, one of my friends, he gave me this long message about how, you know what I mean? Women don't want to hear it. We just got to, I'm like, there's no way. I can't make you help yourself. You know what I mean? You got to want it. You got to want it. I said, you cannot live your life based on, women will think. Why are you so, I'll be honest, why, just like with women, we're like, we don't care what men think anymore, you know what I mean? The liberation woman movement, I'm not all the way down for everything about it, but at some point, you got to liberate yourself from women will think this, women will think that. Why
But
do
I
you
think
care?
that's a little contradiction because just earlier you were saying that there were people that women feel a certain insecurity because again they worry about what people think.
Right. But we were talking about teaching women to stop worrying about what people think. So what I'm saying is we have to teach our boys. I got to teach my little brother, hey, I don't care if some girl comes up to you and it's like, oh, you're not a man. And live your truth. Be who you are. You don't have to worry about if she thinks you're a simp because you're too nice. Next woman. If she thinks you're too emotional because you cry, next woman. I feel like we need to, and so that's why I said I'm in between what Dee was saying, in between what you were saying. I do think we need to create a world with a safe space for men, but we also have to teach men that everybody doesn't care. Everybody's not going to react the way you need them to react. Everybody's not going to be a safe place, but that doesn't mean that you don't go get help. Get your therapy, get your this, get your that. You know what I mean? One thing I liked about my ex is that he could cry. His mother taught him that, and that's what made me more connected to him. Because he was a guy that was just like, oh no, I don't cry. I couldn't do it. I'd be like, okay, I don't know what's wrong with you. You got these weird looking moods. I can't tell if you're mad, happy, sad. Give me something to connect with. So what I'm saying is I feel like on both sides, what Dee was saying and then what you were saying, third, we need to foster an environment where our boys are taught, not just by women, but also by men. Like I said, we can't vent to our boys, we can't vent to our dads. We need to open up those conversations where men can do that. And at the same time, we got to also teach them to stop caring. That's part of the whole
No,
woman
it's not even so.
liberation.
So as a man, especially as a man who had a hard time being vulnerable with women, for me, it's a thing of trust. I don't trust easy. You know what I'm saying? And so to trust you with something that's sacred, that's invulnerable as that, because again, I've seen the ills of people who will sit there and flip it and use it against you. I've also seen people who just, like you said, and like Dee said, folks just don't give a fuck. And you got to suck it up and you got to kind of just be that person and be there for everybody else. But nobody necessarily checks on the strong friend. You have to be that one for everybody else. And you're not necessarily given that space. Melvin says,
you don't have to be that person. I get frustrated with people. My wife is that. My wife is I'm gonna be strong. I'm gonna be there for everybody. That is not your job. I know it seems very sympathetic and loving and caring, but you're not supposed to take on the issues of everyone and neglect yourself. That's not what you're here for. You help who you can help, but you help you first. It's hard to pour from an empty cup. And if you let everybody drain your cup with all their problems and situations, you can't pour into nobody else. So you have to take some personal time to work on you and deal with you. You know what I mean? You can't be that strong for everybody. And if the people around you are not reciprocating that energy, those are not people that need to be in your circle because you'll never grow there.
very true.
Make
Make sure you guys hit the like and share button, y'all. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for everybody that's coming through. I mean, again,
like, comment, and subscribe because we're on YouTube too. So subscribe.
Oh yeah, we're on YouTube too. Dad Moore was good with you. Certified was good with you. I mean, it's one of those things, So again, when I was going through my divorce, I only had select people I could really talk to. Because I didn't trust. And one of them was right here in the comments right now, certified. I mean, he heard me cry like a little girl from time to time, and
what I tell you about that, change the way
stop. But that's
that.
That's me. This is me when I'm saying and when I'm speaking.
Okay, but what
and instead again, it's how I felt. It's how I felt.
Okay.
Again, it's how I felt.
And I want you to work
so
on
again, please, it's how I felt. Again, so you have to learn how to get over that. But again, at that point, that's how I felt. This is what I felt like. I felt like weak because I'm crying. I felt like I'm this because I'm crying, whatever. And then I've learned later on through through certified, through Pastor Fox, through like church folks, that it's okay to sit up there and to be vulnerable and to cry. There's people that don't judge you. You have to find your circle. You have to find your tribe of people who don't judge you, who support you, who are going to uplift you and give you help.
Amen.
Agreed.
Yes, sir.
Yep. Agreed.
That's what we need. That's what we need.
Look, mister, I care
people try to tell me. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, but I care about you. That's why I'm like, stop with that narrative.
Don't tell me what to do.
You're going to get punched.
That was that Sagittarius.
You know it, and it ain't going to stop.
Put stuff like that on the ground.
I just want the narrative yeah, on the psychology side of it, it's going to take time to change that, but you need to change that narrative. Crying does not make you a bitch. Crying does not make you a little girl. Men have feelings, and you are entitled to feel every single inch of those feelings. Does not make you weak. That's not a flex is that you work through them. You have to go through the process of getting through those feelings so you can make it to the next level. You don't hold that stuff in. It causes more issues. Why would you do that? No, and I've been through that as a woman, but when if my man come to me and be like, I have this issues, the sympathetic side of me who done been through a bunch of shit is going to be like, let it go. Let me hear it. Let me hug you. You need a tissue. You need this. You need some time away from me. Whatever it is you need. And if I'm finding that talking to me is not enough, because I'm not going to offer my advice. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to listen first. If you're requesting my advice, then I'll give it to you. But if it's getting to a point where what I'm saying to you and what I'm pouring into you is not enough, guess what Letitia does? Well, maybe you need to go seek someone outside of me. Yeah. And I'm okay with that. If you want me to go with you, I'll go, but I will suggest that you go by yourself. You do not want your mental state to be a point where it just tears you apart to where you thinking about taking your own life. And I couldn't sit there with you being my friend and hearing everything that you going through. How could I sit there and just be like, oh, well, suck it up. You're a man. You're not supposed to cry. I can't do that. I won't do that.
Some folks will say such is life. You know what I'm saying? And that's the problem. That's what I'm kind of conveying is that with a lot of men, the reason why we feel like we don't have a safe space is because again, we have to get up and we have to be men. You know, Jazz Williams had made a comment saying that being vulnerable is not something. He said something, but it made sense because again, that's what we're taught. And that's what we're programmed as boys is we have to. We have to be that rock. You know, we got people who depend on us. And sometimes when we're that one, like Quez was saying, we got to be that one that people rely on. But sometimes it becomes tough because we looking around and we don't got nobody that necessarily got us, which is why you got to definitely keep a circle of people who definitely are like-minded that you can run to. You have to have a circle of trust.
Yes.
I hear you.
Hey, so kind of to kind of sum this up, my advice on this topic here: do women create a safe space for men to vent and be vulnerable? Men, if you got to search for that in your woman, that's not your woman. Secondly, quit searching for validation from other people and help your goddamn self. If you need somewhere to be vulnerable or you need somewhere to get help, go get it. Quit, you know what I'm saying? Don't, hey, can you be my safe space? Can you be my rock of Gibraltar or whatever the case may be? Like, go get your ass some help. You know what I'm saying? Surround yourself
I hear you.
With the people who exhibit the traits that you don't have. That's the point of a circle. Your circle of influence shouldn't be everybody who thinks like you. Your circle of influence should be people that are stronger in other avenues than you are, so that you guys can bounce ideas and topics and emotions off of. So stop looking for people to validate you and give you the solutions to your problems, and you know what you need to fix. If you know you don't have a safe space, you have to, you know what I'm saying, find somewhere to help you create it within yourself, because everything starts from within. Mindset, emotions, heart, soul, all that. That's my
1 minute, she's coming back.
And then to add on that too, you shouldn't be.
Somebody got
I have
mute.
no clue.
Yeah,
I have no clue. But on top of that, you have to ask your woman to provide that safe space rather than her just provide it because she can sense that you're going through stuff. Then that's not the person that's going to create the safe space for you. If y'all have that connection, she should be able to sense. Like normally you all talkative and energetic, and now all of a sudden you silent. Something's going on. If you are normally the person else, like get up and go get her and things like that, and now you're just like sitting at home depressed in the dark and stuff or whatever, like stuff like that, you need to be. If there's a change that's not normal and it's in the wrong direction, your person should be able to sense that. You shouldn't have to ask them to create that safe space.
But then you got to be willing to open up, because I dated a guy who had those quiet.
You only dated one guy, ma'am.
I dated one guy, but I'm just saying, I didn't know what was going on with him though. You know what I mean? And it was like, I was very confused. You know what I mean? Like what?
Right.
Like I didn't know if he was happy, sad, mad. This I couldn't tell where he was at. He's at the end of what ends. What's the problem? He wouldn't talk when I asked him, "Hey, babe, you know what I mean? You know, get him in the cuddle position. What's wrong? You all right?" I'm in a different headspace. What does that mean? I'm just sitting there like, I mean,
That means at that moment he's not ready to discuss what's going on.
exactly. But
And
my
he's in
thing
a
is,
different
like,
headspace, and you just
Right.
let him know if whenever
Right.
you're ready to be in that headspace, you
Right.
can
Let's
speak to
talk
me.
about it.
And
Amen.
also too, because it's a stigma behind men and Black people in
Yes.
general going to seek
Yes.
therapy. So
Yes.
sometimes that nice little
Yes.
Very
voice
true.
in your head that's
Yes.
calm and calm, you could be like, well, you know what? If you can't speak to me right now, and don't get offensive. Don't be like, damn, he
Exactly.
can't speak to me.
Mhm.
You know, then you'd be like, you know what? I'm here if you want to talk. But if
Right.
not, let's look up some resources so you
Right.
can go talk to whoever you need to talk to.
Amen.
Before it
your
becomes this
ego go.
huge thing,
Yeah.
and before it becomes
Yes.
this huge thing and it comes between y'all when it doesn't have to. You can
Amen.
be their cheerleader in the background. You don't have to
Right.
be there all the time.
Be the
Hold up.
exactly.
I like what Alexandria Knight. If you want, you can click the link and come on. She says you have to properly vet people, which is why you should get to know them vertically before you engage with them horizontally. Horizontal activities
Preach.
diminish your
I love that.
objectivity.
I love that.
It's very, very
I
true.
love that.
Come on.
Which is what we talked about earlier. You know, if this is someone who you're wanting to spend your rest of your life with, or you see potential in, then yeah, you keep the physical aspect out of it, and you really get to
Amen.
know this person. You ask the questions. You get. I want you to come to me as you are. I want to see the good, the bad, the ugly from the gate.
All
You know,
of
don't
that.
give me the polished version. Give me you, so we can
Don't
just
give me
get
your
the.
representative. Give me the real.
You're
Listen,
one.
right.
Miss Knight dropped a bar right there.
Guys,
She dropped the whole bar right there.
Hey,
Yes.
I gotta run, guys.
diminish the objectivity, man. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
If we
What'd you
not
say,
vertically
Adoration?
flowing,
I'm sorry. I said
it's
I
a
gotta
wrap.
run. My mom's calling.
All
gotta
right.
jump
Well, you
off.
have
All
a good
right,
one.
we
Thank you for
appreciate
coming through and contributing your
Bye.
3 cents. We
Have
appreciate
a
you.
good night.
Adoration tuned in from
From
Amoretti
Dubai.
or
Dubai.
Dubai, or
I'll be in
whichever
Thailand
one
next
of those
week.
she's in. We appreciate her.
Thailand,
It's like
Thailand,
5
huh? Bangkok.
Bangkok
Oh, my
next
client
week.
is coming from Dubai.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, I have
We out
2
here.
clients coming in.
Well, then you should have told them to book through me, D. Ain't nobody trying to hear that.
Oh,
I'm
damn.
just
All
messing
right, then,
with you.
Adoration. You have a good
All
one.
right,
Thank you.
guys. God bless.
What you say, Quest?
Nah, I'm just messing with you. I said they
I
didn't book
didn't
through
hear
me,
you.
so we don't care.
So
Oh,
I want to give for the folks who are just tuning in. You know, I
You
want
don't
to again.
call
I want to
back.
thank you. Make sure you guys hit the like and share button. The one thing I can say about my friends on here on this platform is that me and Quez actually. I started this whole platform and this whole thing basically off of a conversation that we were having. It accidentally got shared from a group chat into the public feed. And we were talking about politics. We're heated. We're passionate. Then it turned into things about what we're both passionate about is the Black culture that we're from. And it was something that we had a discussion. It was me, him, Melvin, Rashard. We were having a discussion, and there are people who got a view or got a glimpse and got to see what it is that we were actually talking about as Black men. And we had people that were commenting saying like, man, we never knew that you guys felt like this, or we never heard men speak like so passionately how you've done, and you needed to do a podcast. And so this was kind of created out of accident, and we created a safe space for us. We've had moments where we've had Kendra who is shared some personal stuff and was vulnerable with us and cried. I've shared some personal stuff. Quez, Tisha, D, we've all had vulnerable moments on here where we created a safe space where we can talk and we can use our life lessons. So we're not perfect, we're not experts, but whatever it is that we go through, there might be someone who's going through the exact same thing, and you're getting to hear these conversations, and hopefully you can take some away from it to actually help make your situation just a little bit better. Or you can go seek therapy, or you're hearing us talk about mental health and therapy, so it's okay to actually just go get help. Or it's okay to turn to your lady. For men, start letting down your guard and start trusting your woman to actually have your back. If this is who you're spending your time with, this is who you're investing in, trust that she got you. And you can start trusting her and start just letting her be there for you in a way that you never really expected. And then I promise you that your relationship is going to flourish just 10 times better, because some women, they want their men to really just be vulnerable with them. And when they don't get that, they seek attention from somewhere else, and they may get someone who's actually listening to them be vulnerable. You know what I'm saying? So it's just one of those things where it's like I think some women actually do crave the vulnerability of a man, and I think again how some men were raised, we weren't raised to just be vulnerable. We're raised to go to work, pay bills, provide, be a man. We're not supposed to show emotion. But now we're getting into the era where it's okay. Like, I like what Marvin said, stop saying cry like a girl. You have to learn to stop saying cry like a girl or cry like a man. Like I was getting ready to say before I was getting so rudely interrupted it. As a man,
you about to get the other finger. Like you really about to get the other finger. I told you, I care about you.
I know, but as a man, it's okay.
Fuck your psychology major. You don't care what you talk about.
That's all right, don't call me for nothing else.
Marvin told him.
Okay, don't call me for nothing else.
As a man, it's okay to cry. You know what I'm saying? It's okay to cry. It's okay to show emotion. It's okay to sit up there and to actually have emotions. It's okay. You know what I'm saying? You don't necessarily have to equate it to something negative or something bad. It's okay. Just create a good circle of trust. And if you have a woman, let that start with your woman first.
Let's start with you first. I'm sorry. Trust yourself.
But sometimes it takes a woman to be like, I see this in you that you're not seeing. Not all the time.
Most definitely.
Sometimes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, most definitely. Yeah, I agree with you wholeheartedly right there.
Because I am observant. I watch.
Yeah, but you should be able to trust yourself too.
That's a Sagittarius. We are observant.
Very.
If you don't trust yourself, you definitely need help.
And sometimes it gets that deep.
Trust me. Like I tell my team, man, if it's fourth quarter and there's 2 seconds on the clock and then somebody got to take the last shot, I'm taking it every time. I'm not passing the ball. I'm not looking for no help. I don't need a screen. I'm always betting on me because I know me. I'm gonna go get it. But for those times where I feel like I'm injured in the game, hey, the queen gonna come out here and drop 32. You know what I'm saying? So you don't get the run. She gonna come out here and drop 30 on your head too. You know what I'm saying? But I trust her enough for that. You know what I'm saying? Like if I'm incapable of leading from the front, she gonna jump out here and drop 30 on you too. She might hit you with a 40 piece. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Just because she got a point to prove. Because I'm not out here, y'all, to play with her a little too much. She might come drop 50 on your ass. You know?
Right.
But I'm sorry. Let me stop. I love the queen. Let me put that out. Put that on her podcast where she get to yelling.
She know you love her.
Facts.
All right, y'all. We got anything else we want to add to this?
No.
Nah, I think we covered that pretty good. I think we jumped into a great space right there.
Great discussion. So another thing that was brought up, and we'll make this quick too, but that came out of last week was we were talking about the whole aspect of marriage, divorce, relationships. I appreciate you, Kendra, because there was people over here saying that, well, if who this Quest. So yeah, Kendra, we had someone saying like, if this person's not making me happy, boom, that there's a term limit or is how long a marriage should last, and boom, I'm out. And then someone has said, well, we got to stop getting away, or it doesn't necessarily say that, you're in it for life in the Bible, and you hit them with a quote, you hit them with not a quote, but a Bible scripture to back up that marriage is supposed to be for life. And again, I think people have this really negative view or connotation about marriage. And so I guess the next topic of discussion is, have people turned away from traditional marriage?
You mean have to stay married forever? Is that what you mean?
No. Say it again for the people in the back, D.
You know that you're supposed to stay married forever.
I mean,
you gotta know who you marrying.
D, that's the one I was getting ready to say. That's the one thing that you've always hit, that you have to get to know who you're marrying, because when you look at it in the aspect of what it is supposed to, when you're supposed to be married, you're marrying this person for life. When you have a child with this person, you're going to be dealing with them for the rest of your life. So you have to be careful about who you're having babies with, number one. Yeah. Number two, you definitely have to be aware of who you're saying I do to, because it's intended to be for life. It's not, okay, this person's not making me happy no more, I'm gone. or
Right.
or because they didn't make me a sandwich right, or because they laughed and called me a name. No, it gets deeper than that. This is someone who you're supposed to be spending the rest of your life with.
Right.
And I think a lot of people take marriage as a joke now. It's become like equivalent to the word love. People throw around the word love so loosely now that they don't even understand the meaning of it, or nor do they actually know what it's supposed to be intended for.
They
Half the
don't.
people get married don't even love themselves. So
Right.
That part too.
Hmm.
Yep.
Hmm.
I feel like they just, you know what I mean? Like people get into it knowing that they can get out. They don't know
Right.
how to,
Right.
when it, it's all fine and dandy while you got the butterflies and you loving each other. But the minute that you call fault on someone, it's hard for someone to accept their fault. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
And then it's also the delivery. If the delivery's not right, that can keep a whole argument going for a minute. You know what I mean? And so I think it can, and that's what leads into people can't, I would say communicate. Like they don't know how to get, once you done had that argument or you done put out there, what you were mad about. I don't think they know how to, even when a woman knows when she's kind of been wrong, or even a dude knows he's wrong, I don't think they know how to recoup from that. Like to come back. It's hard to go and say, babe, I'm sorry. Let's start over. Let's stop this. Let's reset. I don't think they know how to do that. And I think
Right.
that's what, it's too much pride, ego, or whatever the case, or they just don't know. And sometimes it ain't even about pride or ego. Sometimes they really just don't know how to recoup from it after all the bad things they say to each other. That's why you have to watch your mouth when you do get into a debate or argument, because I have had to hold my tongue a lot of times. My fiance, like, all right, you really don't know, like. And I'm trying to keep my mouth shut.
Okay.
It's hard now. I can be a nigga on you,
Yeah.
but no man wants a woman that's gonna be always cussing at him or talking like a dude. But I'm not gonna let you sit there and talk to me crazy like I'm some whore off the street either. You gotta still respect me as I gotta respect him as a man. So it's safe to have a good, a healthy argument or disagreement. And that's what I think that it's hard to do that. So which leads to where they say, well, I can get out of it then. If she ain't talking to me, it's been 2 or 3 weeks and she ain't cooking no dinner, then, now it's time people start wanting to go their separate ways. And it ain't
Right.
that easy. You know what I mean? Over something petty.
And
Yeah.
Right.
nowadays people ain't marrying for love. They marrying for
For
convenience,
lust.
Convenience.
Yep. And
or
convenience, yep.
Convenience.
or because of finance reasons. They need a
Need a
um
write off.
they need a
Hell no.
Well, I
it's
do have a clip, and so yeah, I have a clip that I want to show. With a woman talking about marriage. Shout out to Tisha because you really been on your ish. So I want to show this clip.
Okay, here's the myth. You're not going to like it, but here's the myth. God is preparing a man for you. Incorrect. Biblically speaking, the Bible says that God created Eve for Adam, not Adam for Eve. I'm going to let you sit on that for a couple seconds. God created Eve for Adam, not Adam for Eve. So the one God is preparing is you. You have to understand that God prepares you as a woman to come into the life of a man, to be a helpmate, to bring value into his life, to be able to allow him and encourage him to do what God has destined for him to do. But as a woman that is unprepared, what happens is instead of allowing the man to do what God has called him to do, you make it all about you. And you want the man to make you his God. It was never planned that way. As a woman, you need to align with your man, and both of you need to serve God, because that is what God ordained, for man and woman to join together and serve God.
Now,
That's the
I
same
played
silence
that.
I had when I watched it.
I played that because it was really important. Because again, we talked about it last week about how people try to take God out of your relationship, and I think the negative view on marriage these days is so ill because people are doing a godly act, which is marriage, and they're kind of like perverting it in a sense. They're not taking it serious, but this is what marriage has started off was a union between a man and a woman. She was right. God created Eve for a man because again, he was lonely. He needed a helpmate. He needed a companion. This is what it's about. It's about relationship. And so, fast forward to today, where, just like how you ladies have said, you got some people are just married just for great convenience, tax write-offs. Dude may need a spot to stay, or you may have an insecure woman who just want a man, so she gonna pay for everything and blah blah blah. It becomes so many different reasons. It's not even a thing about love and trying to build no more. It's about what benefits the other person. You know what I'm saying? Which is kind of crazy, but people want to try to remove God from the aspect, even the God list, which is kind of crazy. So why do you think that there's a negative view on marriage these days?
I'll let y'all take
I think
that.
what Dee said summed it up, because it came down to the point of whatever side it is, it's almost like a selfishness. Oh, he's not making me happy. He's not doing this, or she's not doing this. She's not doing that. It's like, what are you doing too? Like, it's y'all are a couple. Y'all are one. Why is it always just the other person's fault? And then instead of trying to, like she said, communicate and try to work it out, because now you legally bonded to each other. Instead, you're just like, okay, I'm out. I can't do this no more. He's not satisfying my needs, or she not satisfying my needs, and there's no communication. So how does the other person even know what your needs and desires are if you're not communicating to each other?
Right. So
it
a
all
lot of times you gotta ask other couples that have been married over 15 years. I asked this couple one time, how are they so happy, like they so good, and they say, well, when they get in an argument, they get in the shower and discuss it. I said, well, damn, ain't nobody gonna argue. And they said that's the whole purpose. You know what I mean?
Ain't nobody arguing.
And I said, okay.
Ain't no room to argue in the shower now. Come on.
Right.
That ain't even it. That ain't,
right.
The room ain't even what crossed my mind.
Right. Like, what we arguing about now?
Because you're nasty.
And so I asked another couple, argue, have a discussion face to face, like really face to face, and talk. That way the volume stays down, because why are you yelling when I'm right here?
Right in your face.
Here. And so, and a lot of times you face each other and hold hands. You got to find out what works for you, because a lot of times if you don't have that extra space, one's in that room, they yelling back and forth.
Right.
It don't work that way. And then you start looking at each other and you start realizing, you know what? And the touching makes you feel like it ain't worth it, because I'm gonna tell you something. That person can leave the next morning and they can get in an car accident, die, whatever the case may be, and you will find out it was petty. So a lot of times I feel like even with women, sometimes we do take stuff and take it too long, like too much, when we have to, let it go. As I've been told the past couple of months, let it go, D, let it, and we're so used to making sure our point gets across. And and I think the point gets across, but men are like, they don't want to give us that it did get across. So when we look at them, they look like they're not concerned, because they're really just tired of hearing it. So with us, we still think we're gonna keep mashing it in their head, oh, you don't hear me talking to you now? Oh, what's the problem? You know what I mean? So I think when it's like that, but who laughed? That was Ever, wasn't it?
It was me, and I'm agreeing with you. That's why I'm laughing.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Because
she ready for all the smoke. I ain't got no comments.
They say that we do. I'm agreeing with the men sometimes on this, because I know now in my years that we do need to know when to curb and stop the attitude and the dryness and the hardness on men, because a man don't want to sleep with another man. Hell, so. Just like, my cousin don't like that my homegirl calls him a nigga. Like, she's like, well, nigga, whatever. He don't like it. But then he called people niggas. You know what I mean? I'm like, well, how you don't like it either? But a man don't want his woman like that. And he don't want her talking harsh to him, even if she is right. Just let him do it his way. And when it don't work, just be like, you want to try my way? Can we let it make him think it's his idea? It's okay to let him, think he came up with the idea. It's the same way with men. It's okay to let her know you listening. Just say, okay, I got it. And I'm like, I'll be on the phone. Do you hear me talking to you? I heard you. Then why you ain't saying nothing? Because I'm letting you talk. Right. And because they don't know when 100%. To interject. Right. They don't know when to interject. They don't know if it's going to set you off some more. And they don't want to hear it for another 30 minutes, an hour. So a lot of times we do.
Let's wrap this up.
Yeah. So a lot of times us women have to be like this and just stare at him and focus on him. Take your time. Like, everything's not an argument though. You know what I'm saying? He left the seat up. So what? He left the damn seat up. You
Put
can
it
put the
down.
seat back down because you gotta lift the top part up anyway. Shit. And then it's just like, oh, he left his clothes on the floor. Okay, so
Pick 'em up.
what? It don't have to be nothing big. You know what I mean?
Right.
So
That's the one thing I give my lady credit, man. Like when we get into our heated discussions and debates, and especially when I'm right, you know, and I know I'm right, she'll try to argue her point and argue, but I've hit her with some points for her to think about. She'll let it sit for a couple of days, and then she'll be like, oh, you know what? She'll come back around. Okay, this makes sense. This is that. You know,
yeah,
she'll hear me. But she has to kind of
right,
calm down and actually hear me to actually understand what I was trying to say. You
right.
know.
And I
And that's
always
how
say,
communication works, though, too.
right.
Like we're so quick to we're not listening. We're ready to jump in and give our response. We're not listening to the other person. You need to listen first, then get where they're coming from, and then start to form your response. That's not, if you don't have that, that's not communication. That's one person
Right.
talking at the other person. And then
Right.
also too, what Dee says, sometimes we keep going and going because sometimes we don't get that eye contact, or we don't get that reassurance that y'all do hear us. So sometimes we be like, are you listening? Do you hear me? And then after that, our voices and our attitudes just go pew,
Yep.
pew.
Now
So
we
I
don't
had
wanna
to
talk to you.
tone that down too, because I am so quick. I
Yeah,
was so
when
quick at that.
y'all go to that extreme, we go to the complete opposite.
Yeah,
Right.
and my men go to the complete silence, which drives
Yeah.
me nuts.
That's me.
But
I
I
shut down a
finally
lot.
Yeah,
realized,
as soon as you
but
go
I
there,
realized,
I'm outside smoking
yeah,
a cigarette, man.
but I started to realize that the
It's
reason,
over.
Your
right,
ass.
but that's what I realized, that it's because of the tone I'm coming at him. I'm not, even though I want a response, I'm not giving you the time to respond, you know. And so when he knows I'm on 100, went from 0 to 100 real quick, he's like, okay, no more communication to me. And then it drives me nuts though, but that's how he is. Like he'll even not respond to a text message, and I'm like, do you really think that's not gonna make me more mad? But I learned, give him his space, and we can discuss this whenever I stop, when I'm calm, because I can go hard when I'm pissed. I had to let that go.
You're a Sagittarius. We're petty.
Mm-hmm. I'm a work in progress. I'm a work in progress.
Can I give y'all ladies some advice real quick?
You can.
Don't argue with us over text. Do not argue.
I don't like that either.
Ever.
I don't argue over. I don't like arguing over text.
Don't do it, because one, you know what I'm saying, men don't text like women. We pretty straight and narrow to the point most of the time for most men. Secondly, you're gonna misinterpret whatever I say in the tone and texture in which I said it. So if it's really that serious of a conversation, we need to talk. It's not text.
I agree.
Cut that shit short. Like as soon as I feel like something turning into an argument, I'm calling you. Hold on, man. What are you talking about? Like where are we going?
Yeah, don't text argue with me.
Don't do that, because there's a lot of room for misinterpretation during text. Because you can't hear the tone, intention, vocal inflections. You can't hear none of that. You just see words. You don't get to put them into context. So don't do that.
No, and then you start hearing their voice in the context that it's probably not their context. And
you hear it in their worst version of their context.
Yes.
Like, last time he was mad, he said it like this. And
I had to keep it 100. I had to go back and apologize quite a few times for misinterpreting text messages. So, I had to humble myself. Yep.
Hold on one second, Jamal. What's good with you, man? Appreciate you. I know you're on your lunch break, bro, and appreciate you. You're faithful, man. You support. You always share. You're always liking. You're always making sure you come in. I appreciate you, man. Jamal says, my girl and I at one point would get into some heated discussions, but nonetheless, we never gave up on one another. There were things in a relationship that I was never taught and had to learn the hard way, but we acknowledge our faults, and listening to each other is key. Without that, the relationship will just go awry. You're right. And he said we've been together for 15 years now.
15 years.
Salute.
Hey, good stuff, my brother.
But it sounds like
Larry Sauls.
my grandma.
What up, Pastor Sauls? How you doing, brother?
Why ladies realize all this and then continue to repeat what you know the next time an argument arises?
I can't answer that question.
Why you coming here stirring the pot, Pastor?
Nisha, are you trying to get picked?
I'm already picked. I'm so tired of being called a picky girl. I've already been picked.
Yeah.
So cut that shit out.
Yeah. Say it with your
I
chest.
go on the side of what's right and what I believe.
Yeah.
I don't be following y'all Negroes. What you talking about?
Now, what was you saying, D?
No,
look,
but I
man.
think like one thing I always say is like when you having an argument with your mate or your boyfriend or whatever the case may be, a lot of times like I put myself in a thing like to make sure I explain like it's not like I'm fronting you in front of people. This between you and I. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it shouldn't come. You shouldn't feel like you like I'm chastising because I can't stand when somebody say you're not my mother. Oh, I know. Because you can ask my son, you would have been punched in the mouth. So that's why, and see, then that just stirs up some more. But I think a lot of times that we tell, they're like, I'm not fronting you in front of people. We are having this discussion right here. So your feelings shouldn't come off as like I'm fronting you in front of people. And that's one thing I would never do is I never argue in public. I will never do that. We'll wait till we get to that car. Now, when we get to the car or get home.
You going to tear him up in the car?
Okay, and
it's going
That's where
I can
see
the
that.
bell go off. Ding ding.
I can
that
see
bell
that.
go off.
Yeah.
I might try to wait
my
till we
my
get
wife
home.
could be dead wrong in public. You wouldn't know. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Yeah.
She
That's
could be
how it
dead
was.
wrong. I'm
Yep.
rocking, and as soon as we get in the car, like, nigga, you're tripping. What is wrong with you? Like, you got us out here looking crazy. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
You got us out here going bad. Like, no, but that's how it should be, though. Like, you know what I mean? 'Cause one thing I tell my, I got younger sisters too. And the one thing I always tell them, because they want to ask me about their relationships and stuff. And I tell them, you can't really ask me. Because once you start telling me negative things about a person, that's all I can view them from.
Yeah.
You're going to go back to them, right? And then I have to come over and pretend like I don't know all this bad stuff that you just spewed out about them and watch y'all be happy together. My view don't change because you my sister.
Right.
I don't know him like that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So when you start exposing your relationship to outside sources, you got to be careful who you're doing that with as well, because I'm not going to change my perspective. Once I don't like you, I just don't like you no more.
Right.
Period.
Right.
So if you want me to be objective the whole time, y'all keep y'all shit to yourselves, because once I go left, it ain't no coming back. You know what I'm saying? I'm never gonna like them. No matter how many y'all can have kids, get married, all that, I still don't like this person because of what I know about you from the aspect that she gave it to me from.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And
Right.
when you in a relationship, you got to be careful of the people that you solicit advice from.
Right.
Right.
Because
agree with
now
that.
you got a whole team of haters that, you know what I'm saying, you may be back in love, but now they doing everything in their power because they can't stand him or they can't stand her.
Right.
They're gonna try to separate y'all every chance they get. She could sneeze wrong. See, that's why I don't like the bitch. You heard how she sneeze? You know what I'm saying? We don't sneeze like that over here in my family. You know what I'm saying? She can't be around us. Like all that. Am I lying? No.
You ain't lying.
I'm that petty. Yeah.
She
I'm that
got
petty.
to go sneezing like that. The bitch
I
got
am
a bowl.
too.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm
Like,
that petty.
She got
all of it. You know what I mean?
Hold up. Larry Saul says, I believe a man is always responsible for a heated argument.
Yeah.
I might have to agree with that one.
But that's the same when you're done with a relationship, or about to be done, where everything that woman do irritates the hell out of you. So
I mean, we know women are naturally emotional.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
So we're hearing little bits and pieces. You're kind of breaking up. Make sure you're near your Wi-Fi.
I'm right next to it.
Make sure your Wi-Fi is on.
In and out a little bit, but go ahead, sis.
Yeah, you had the Teddy going, but we're still getting what you're saying. You said something about being irritated. I heard a little bit what you got.
Yep.
But
Did
back
she
And
say
to
again?
Pastor Sauls also
back,
said that
uh,
that a car, he said, Miss D, a car is still public.
What happened?
He said that a car, arguing in the car is still arguing in public. That's what Pastor Saul
No,
said.
it's not. It's a difference because public means that there's a form of other people around that can hear your conversation. So inside the car, the other people are not in your vehicle.
It depends if you got 10 or not.
So that's not
Your
the
windows
same
ain't
thing.
tinted.
Okay, but if y'all just discussing, if you're just discussing and not beating each other up, you don't need
Right.
sense. Now,
Exactly.
if you're doing all that extraness, then you
I
might want to
can't
move your car to a
Yeah.
can't
And,
stand this.
and that's why I said
Hey,
sometimes
you
gotta
ever been in traffic and
see-
you look over like next to you and you like, damn, they going off. It don't even be nobody in the
Yes,
car.
I seen it.
You just know they going off on somebody
I
on
seen
the
it.
phone
they might be
or
on the
whatever.
phone.
Like,
Yeah.
boy,
I'm seeing it,
they
man.
gonna
I'm like,
just
yo.
snap it.
I'm like, yo, I hope this brother can duck because it look like she about to go upside his head with
Yeah,
a
they
right
don't even
hook.
be in the
You know?
car. It just be on the car phone. You just like, ooh, they going
Right.
in or whatever they did.
right.
Please
Yep.
save whoever's on the other side
No,
of that phone.
I didn't see the argument. I mean, where they were like pushing each other. You know, when one's walking away, the girl push him, and then he reaching back and ready to try to smack her, and then she push him again. I'm like, I didn't see some Jerry Springer Ratchet ish out here.
And the light always turn green right when it's finna get good, huh? Traffic start all of a sudden moving as soon as you get into it. Like, hey, hold on, man, y'all wait, stop. Trying to see this.
You know my petty nosy ass. I'll circle the block. I'll come back around.
You missing your turn.
Right? I'm that person.
With some popcorn and some Pringles and shit, looking like
Y'all
ooh, duck, nigga, duck.
That's how. But you know what's funny is my ex. We would be at like let's say friends have like a barbecue or something, and he knew I was pissed at him. I'll still serve him his food, and still do this and that. But he won't want to leave when it's time to all right, let's ready to go. Oh no, we ain't ready. And I'm like, yeah, you are. Let's go. And everybody.
You know you gonna beat him when he get in the car.
He like, man, I don't want to leave because she mad, and everybody be like, she ain't mad, she been good. Like she got you your plate, she brought you your beer, you straight.
Hey, we as men, because again, my lady, I know when I make her, I make her mad a lot sometimes. I irritate her, but she'll still do the stuff like like make your plate, you good, are you okay? But she'll do it with a little attitude. But I'll be worried sometimes, like, man, am I gonna get some spit soda?
There you go.
She ain't like that, but again,
But you kissing on her.
Right.
So it don't matter if you did. You kiss on her, so you good.
There is a good perspective, D.
You're in that Salem hospital, sir. You know what I'm saying?
Right. You good.
Man.
You can take some spit soda.
And I kept that clean. You see, I kept that clean. I was gonna say something else.
Because I wasn't thinking that.
Yeah, I was thinking something. I was gonna say
something
something
a little
else.
bit further, but yeah.
But I'm gonna be cool with the with the top
So-
lips. I ain't.
So let me play advocate real quick.
When she started off cooking chicken and then all of a sudden spaghetti for dinner. You know what I'm saying? Watch yourself, brother. All of a sudden it's spaghetti now. We're not eating chicken no more. Nah, you don't deserve chicken. Spaghetti.
And if she from Louisiana and those
Watch
other
yourself.
States, you might not want to eat no spaghetti.
I ain't even no spaghetti. I ain't get no Hulu.
Ain't no woman touching that stuff like that. That's nasty.
The hoodoo, voodoo, whatever.
Ain't nobody touching. Ain't no woman gonna touch that stuff.
So let me ask y'all. So hypothetically speaking, if your marriage was going bad, or when you're getting into a marriage, I don't know how to really, because again, we heard some statements from the last one. How long should people stay married?
As long as humanly possible.
I mean,
you know what I'm saying? As long as
no, because I mean, D hit it perfectly on the head. Some people, or was it D or Tisha? Like people get married with the thought, okay, well, I can end this at any time, or I can just leave it any time.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? You hit it right on the head. So if you're stepping into a marriage with that mentality, you're already putting it in your head, or you're putting it in the atmosphere like, hey, this isn't going to last long, or something is going to happen,
Right. Yep, and you're manifesting that. That's why you got to be careful what you speak. If you're already going in with doubts, you shouldn't get married.
Yeah, it's like showing up to playing the game and like, hey, we gonna lose, but I'm still do my best. Why the fuck are you
Right.
getting on the court then? I
Exactly.
don't want
Right.
to be on the court, or I don't want to be on the field with you if you already feel like we gonna lose.
You
Don't
shouldn't.
come out here.
Yeah,
You're
you're already
not, I
setting
play
us
to
up for
win.
failure.
Don't come out here. I don't care if I'm facing Jordan in his prime and it's just me. Jordan, you
That
finna get this work, bro.
that
I'm not
goes.
coming out here like, well, it is Jordan. You know what I'm saying? It is divorce. You know, they put it in there for a reason. I gotta weigh up. No. You gonna get this work, divorce. You gonna get this work, Jordan. You know what I'm saying? There ain't no way out.
Right.
Like
Till
a
death
game,
Right.
do us
blood in,
part.
blood out.
That's
It's
it.
a game.
Quit
So is
playing
it
with
even
it,
worth it to
man.
get married these days?
No,
People
Yeah, no, if you feel like you could leave if something go bad, that's probably not the person for you because you already thinking wrong.
Exactly.
Right.
That is not your person. If
Right.
you already thinking about escape routes, you know what I'm saying?
That's why I say I'm gonna stab them if they cheat. And they said, well, why would you stab me 37 times? Well, why are
Damn,
you
hold
thinking
on.
about 37 times? If you don't plan on cheating, you shouldn't worry about getting stabbed.
What?
That's how I
What?
feel.
Hold on, the math ain't mathing.
and I
In its
said
in
today,
in its
blood in,
chaotic
blood out. You gonna
statement,
get
that
beat
made
that
a lot
house,
of
get out.
sense.
Right.
You shouldn't be
You
worried
gonna
about
get
how
beat
many
up,
times
get
I'm gonna
out.
stab
Play
you
the game.
because you shouldn't be thinking about cheating.
That
Right.
made
If
a
you just tell me,
whole
if
lot
you
of
cheat
sense.
on me, I'm gonna stab you 37 times. And the first thing you say, well, why 37? Why are you even thinking about it? Why are you thinking about the number?
But
You
why
know what I
you
mean?
thinking about stabbing me?
Okay, why you
You
even
shouldn't have been
thinking?
thinking about
But if
cheating.
you have no plan on getting cheating, you don't have to worry about it. You get it?
Getting
It's a
stabbed.
mind thing.
Point blank, period.
But see,
It's
y'all
a mind
get
thing for you,
y'all get
but my
scared too
mindset is
fast.
like,
See?
why are you worried about if I'm a cheat or not and deciding already how many times you gonna stab me?
Because it's gonna be
Well,
And I didn't
37
give you no
you gonna
times.
get
inclination that I was ever gonna cheat. So why are you
Hey,
thinking about that?
sometimes you talk, but you have conversations, right? You gotta have conversations, you know. Have you ever cheated before? Have you ever did this? You know? Oh, because
That
if
You
was
you know
gotta
with
definitely
me,
have those conversations.
you cheat on me, you didn't stab 37 times.
37, not 36,
37.
and not 38. 37.
That's about when my arms started to get tired.
So you didn't
Uh,
practice.
No, but I
That's
can.
true,
You got it.
Larry.
That is
That's
You got it
true.
practice.
down to muscle memory. You know when the fatigue gonna kick in. You know what I'm
But
saying?
why are you
That's
scared
what
though?
that
So
sounded
see,
like to me.
that's the whole point. Is that men don't hear that part. Is that they don't understand? Like she didn't have a mentality. Your comeback should be, well, baby, I ain't got to worry about that because I don't plan on doing this for life. Okay.
I'm not married to you, so I'm thinking about it from the outside looking in. How do you know when your
See?
arm gonna get tired? How do you
Because
know
I
it's
do.
37?
Because I know my
You know what I'm saying?
body.
That's what I'm thinking about.
I know my body.
She got 2 arms.
Yeah,
She can get
Denisha
the
ain't
next
gonna
one.
stab me. We ain't got nothing to worry about over here.
Okay.
Won't be
Then
no
see,
stabbings over
She got
here.
a right
First
you
of
to
all,
you hope not. You hope not.
I don't gotta hope. Hope is for people that are not prepared. You know what I'm saying? I'm properly prepared to go the long haul with this thing. You hope when you ain't got no preparation. So I'm not
Yep.
worried about getting stabbed.
Ooh,
You
we
hope
still
nothing
dropping
comes
bars
back.
over here.
I'm
You hope
prepared.
nothing
on that.
happens.
I don't
You
hope.
never know. Something might go down. You can never say never.
Hey, Obama gave y'all hope and then he left you. You know what I'm saying? How'd that
Hey
work?
man, you leave Mr. Obama alone, man.
Obama
What's
ain't
wrong with you, Negro?
Obama
And he
ain't
didn't
no.
leave.
See, that's the problem.
He
Now,
didn't.
here
Hey,
we
he left
go.
folks with phones, man. He gave people phones.
They still get
Okay.
them. So he didn't leave. Yeah.
That was your
They move on.
argument. He gave out some phones.
He gave
See,
them phones, man.
people always do that, but then I don't never see nobody else trying to run or, get into politics or try to make a change. Cause like even like when my cousin James, when he's so political about Black history, I be telling him, well, why you ain't running for mayor or for Senate or something like, or raising this youth
Because your
or
cousin
making
James
this youth
don't want
think
to get
about this.
shot.
Why Obama didn't get shot?
Obama didn't affect no change.
Well,
That's
I
another
don't know about all
discussion.
that.
'Cause
Okay, that might be
we
another
strayed away from the topic.
topic.
We strayed away because Obama's my guy. So
Yeah.
just
I
because
appreciate
That
you,
might be
brother.
another
no,
topic.
just because we got
My
this
kids can
and
look at him and say they could be
sir,
president now.
sir, I
We
don't
still
appreciate
here.
your negativity.
Yeah, we still here. That's all I'm saying. We
I
still
don't
here.
appreciate the
Like
negativity.
I
You leave
said, this
Obama
gonna be
alone,
a
man, just
different
because
day
your boy
because
is
it's gonna
Trump.
be a long discussion.
Oh, is it?
See what?
Well, he going to jail
Whoa,
anyway.
brother. Hold on. Don't do that.
Because you talking like a mega. You talking like a mega.
Like what does that?
You sound like you married to mega, you know?
We gonna go ahead, get him. He canceled.
That was some
get his card.
negativity right there.
Pull his card.
That didn't
He
add up,
said your black
sir.
card is being snapped.
Yep,
Yeah,
pull that
that
card.
didn't add up. Oh.
All right, y'all.
17 million. I mean 17 million cents. I'm still trying to figure out what the total
Like
is.
I said, that's gonna be another topic because it can't be wrapped up in 10 minutes.
Well,
Yeah, no, I'm sorry for doing that.
so so
Don't
the
be
next
sorry.
topic that we're going to talk about, like,
that takes it totally somewhere else.
hold on a sec. Larry says, "Can you explain the question for marriage?"
We
Like,
didn't explain it. Have people turned away from marriage? We were asking if people turned away from the sentiment of it, like the importance and the relevance of it, or are people just getting married just to get married?
Well, because again, we had. I'm gonna call them out. I'm gonna call out names. You know, we had two people. We had the Melvin, aka Toes, and Adoration. And when we were talking about, how marriage is supposed to be long term, again, because of what it says in the Bible, and she was like, "Well, I don't play about my Bible. It doesn't say nowhere in there that it's supposed to be for life. It says it in the vows." And then then Kendra came with scripture that showed that no, it's for life. And so again, we have people who. We're not saying that Melvin is not, but we have people who are not necessarily like, religious people or people of God or whatever, saying, and they try to take God out of the aspect of marriage. And it became a whole thing of why, saying, because again, when marriage started, the whole institution of marriage, it started between a godly thing. But now we've come so far to where it's like people try to remove that from the marriage. And now we're wondering why certain marriages aren't really lasting that as long as they should be.
I can tell you something that I know some celebrities are doing. It's not orthodox, but it works. They've been married for years. I forgot there's a couple of Caucasian ones that do this, but I can't remember who. But I just heard of a Black celebrity that does this, and she just said it the other day, which is Cheryl Lee Ralph. She's been married for years, and she said she's been very happily married, and it works for them is they have two separate homes. She has her home, her husband has his, and it's worked for them, and she's very happy. They're very happily married.
Yeah.
Yep.
Did y'all hear that?
And you came in really clear with that one, Kendra.
When you get married, you need space.
And she said that's one of the reasons why. And she said they miss each other when they're not together, which makes it more better for them. She said they don't go long periods without seeing each other, but just, being away from each other and coming back and missing each other, what's been working for them for years. And I know a lot of celebrity, older people do that.
Yeah. Hey, Larry Sauls, hit the link if you want to come in. But yeah, no, I can definitely attest to that. Like me and Nicole, we spend a lot of time together. Like we in business together, we got kids, we married, we live together. So sometimes that can be a lot. And my breakaway from that is I go outside. I don't have to go nowhere far, but you know what I'm saying? I go outside. But when people offer an opportunity for her to participate in something, a lot of times she'll be like, "Oh, if he can't go, I'm not coming." I'm like, "Man, get your ass home." You know what I'm saying? Go out there and hang out with them folks. Like for real, we that's what our arguments be about. Like, get your ass out this house. Like, go with your friends, have a good time. I'm gonna sit here in the quiet and the peace. Like for real. Like that's the type of stuff we argue about. Like, nah, get your ass out. If your friends want to hang out, go hang out. And when my friends come in the city, you know what I'm saying? I'm finna go, I be trying to invite people to the house. Like, come on, I'm gonna cook, I'm gonna barbecue, woo, woo, woo. She be like, I don't want all the niggas over here. You know what I'm saying? Like, take y'all gone. So that be our issue is because we spend a whole lot of time together. That's just what we used to. You know what I'm saying? But I can see how being in a long-term relationship, you need to create your personal time. You know what I mean? Because after a while, a lot of that shit start to mesh, and then there's some irritants that go in with that too. You know what I mean? Just being around each other all the time, you start to notice little shit that bothers you. Like, why the hell are you chewing that gum like that? Like, nigga, stop chewing the gum. You know what I'm saying?
Like, damn, you still here? Why you here?
All that kind of stuff happens. Like, you know what I mean? For real. This be real bullshit that you really be mad about. Like, so you just gonna sit here and chew the gum like that. Like, we all in here. Like, this is stuff that
you
when
start
you spend
noticing all
too
the
much time
things,
with people,
like,
these are the
you
things
chew
that
like
it
that?
don't even
Why
be
you
real
chew like
shit. It don't be real problems. It just be minor petty shit because y'all been around each other too long.
Yeah.
You know?
Right.
So
Yeah.
you do need your own space. You need to have your own hobbies, your own little, you know what I'm saying? Moments where you create your environment to yourself.
Agreed.
You need that in a relationship. Quit trying to be in Instagram filters all day and holding hands, skipping up the beach, because that's not what marriage is.
It's not all smiles and giggles.
Larry Sauls, how you doing?
Pastor Sauls, what's going on?
Doing my best, man. Doing my best.
There you go.
How everybody doing?
Maintain it. What's good with you?
I don't have one of those echoes, do I?
Nah.
Nah, you good.
No, I had asked a question. I was trying to figure out how you are asking about it. Have people have turned away from marriage? And I noticed when people talk about how they have turned away from the institution that God had developed for man and a woman. And it's interesting because I don't believe marriage today, even in the church, people don't do it the way God developed it to be. My marriage ain't the way God developed it to be. I'm on my second marriage, and but even my first marriage wasn't the way God developed it to be, because I also believe the institution of marriage. When God does marriage, He speaks of it from the standpoint of covenants. When covenants, God speaks about covenants, it is consecrated in blood, which meant also that the woman was supposed to be a virgin as far as the man was too. And I don't know how many virgin weddings we have these days. I say that because that is what what God calls man and woman becoming one flesh. Man and woman becoming one flesh is the fact that covenant has been made in blood. One man and one virgin woman. However, there is that other grounds to marriage, which also, when we talk about, divorce, the Bible says that let no man separate what God has joined together, right? What, in context to that, what it's actually saying is exactly what you mean by when we have come into covenant, the way God has designed for a man and a woman to come into. What it's saying is if we're going to do marriage the way God has done, and God has entrusted us to do it, or in His institutional covenant, then when it comes time for, because I'm answering this for those that say, should it be for eternity, or should it be not eternity, but should it be forever, as long as you're living? Well, yes, but there is no actual vow that we can find in the scripture. The stuff that we say at the altar is pretty much traditional vows that we make toward each other. They're not really, I guess you could say that they're biblically taught, but it's not an actual scripture where you're gonna go to and just say.
Actually, Kendra brought up a scripture.
What's the scripture that she brought up? I missed the scripture.
I think that was last week.
It was last week.
I get what you're saying, Mrs. Saul. Like when you speak your vows, they're more of a biblically inspired vows,
absolutely.
not word
Yeah,
for
the
word
vowels
verbatim.
are in the Bible.
Yeah.
Right. So what is entailing is, if we're going to do marriage the way God designed it, what it means to let no man pull asunder, what it means is don't go to a man's court to decide if you should be separated or not. That's not a man's decision, because you decided marriage from God's covenant. So that's another thing that we have got wrong when it comes to marriage is when God created the man and he created the woman, he created them knowing them both and loving them both, understanding their needs, understanding why he made the man for the woman. And yes, he did make a woman for a man, because it would make no sense to make one thing for another and then put the need or the emotional or put the just the need of one person on the other, and the other don't have a need for it. It's not like a man don't have a need for a woman, or a woman don't have a need for a man. So when we have to be careful how we define or how we say that a woman don't, that a woman was created for the man because the man was lonely. That's ridiculous, because the man didn't even know he was lonely. The man was created to be self-sufficient because he was in the image of God. And being in the image of God, man would always think that he's self-sufficient. Even when he's married, a man think that he all that. And you must think that you all something to be able to take care of such a woman so precious. You got to be all that to be able to do that. If you're a man that don't think you all that, you probably should reevaluate if you are marriage material. However, when God has created man and woman, he creates them again. And if we look at the text, if we look at context, God never called the woman a woman, and he never called a woman Eve. We get that in the context because we understand that's what the woman was. But in fact, when God created the man and the woman, he called them both Adam. Because when he looked at them, he already looked at them as they were one flesh. Understand that they're both two individual people and they do have their separate parts, but God looks at it as they're already one and the same to him, and he calls them Adam, because when he looks at them as the family of man that's going to populate the earth. But the concept behind marriage then would be for God to bless man. And that's why he tells them, I think that marriage should be looked at as men and women looking at each other, being companions, because they're blessed to have one another. They're blessed to create family. They're blessed to be in a covenant to where ain't nobody else allowed in it, and no man is able to tear it down, because I believe God made this for me. Going in that.
I think we understand and we get that. You know what I'm saying? The thing about it is, as we look at today, again, people have broken away from traditional marriage. There are people who are not looking at it in that aspect. I guess in the metaphorical sense, there's no church in the wild. So we have some people who are pretty much removing God from their situation, and they're just marrying, and they're not looking at it like that. So now, and me and Quez have this heated debate where, again, I say marriage is a blood covenant, and he says, well, it's like a contract. It's like a business arrangement. You know what I'm saying? And so, but the thing is, with a business arrangement, when you're going in with that mindset, you're going in with the mindset, well, hey, I can end this at any time. I can end this business agreement at any time. You know what I'm saying? If you're going in with a blood covenant, it's not supposed to end.
Sir, you're supposed to explain your side, not mine.
Oh, excuse me. Excuse me. I'm sorry.
That's another reason.
Your perspective.
Yeah, I don't think that's what
and I'll explain mine.
Don't back him up. Pick me.
Oh my God.
Cut that.
Tisha, you know I love you. I'm playing.
Pastors on here now, so I'm gonna curve those little pretty words that I use. But if you wrong, you wrong. Don't quote. Don't say what Quest said when that's not what he said. That's not what he meant.
What do you mean?
And I said what I said.
I think I heard you say this before, but go ahead.
PICKED.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely said it before. But to you know what I'm saying, speak to what he's saying, any person in their right mind that would think of starting a business is not going to start a business to find a way to fail. You know, you can't just walk away from business either. You can't just dissolve a business. So when you become business partners with somebody, there's some responsibilities that you both have that make sure that business works. That's why I say marriage is like a business, because it's easily relatable to people who are out here searching money and chasing down dollars. For the simple fact, everybody doesn't believe in the church and Christianity and all that the same way. You know, some people's Christianity is somebody else's Christianity. You know, so to break it down in layman's term, when you get into business, you start a business to win. Nobody starts a business with the hopes that in a couple of years they can walk away from it. Right. This is a lifelong commitment. As an entrepreneur, this is a lifelong commitment. Even if I don't win today, tomorrow, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, the one thing that separates successful business people from those that are not successful is that I didn't quit. That's the only separating and distinguishing fact. That's why I related to business, Mr. Third Degree.
I can see your point, Mr. Quest.
Okay.
And he said what he said.
Dark chocolate night. Hey, we don't need no cheerleaders over. We don't need the pick me crowd cheerleaders.
Look, you've been on my head all night. I got really about to catch it. Like, wait till we get off here. You really about to catch it. Get off.
I live. I live.
He did say that before. I thought he said it too. A contract in the past. I thought he said it too.
Yeah.
In the past.
Thank you.
So
Someone crunching. Thank you.
That's fine. But I still
no, I always said you have to look at it like a business. Y'all added the extra words.
Right, but even like a business, some people will get a business and only want it for a certain, you know, their goal is only to have it when they reach a certain point and then they're done. They sell it. Just like when what's the name? What's the jig sold FUBU, the other one sold Baby Fat,
David Jones.
You know. No, not David Jones.
Russell
Simmons. Yep. And then the other guy, he sold the FUBU. So that's what I'm saying. Some can get there. So that's why with a business, sometimes, I mean, everybody got their own philosophy how they want to express it.
Yeah.
But
it's left to interpretation. I think we all on the same point.
I see the principles I see the principles of what you're saying to be true. So to speak. Only problem I have with looking at a marriage from a business perspective is you don't own your wife, and your wife don't own you. Should nobody walk around thinking they own somebody, but you own a business. And it's the problem with if we go into the philosophy of marriage thinking that marriage is a contract like a business, then somebody has to be an owner. And therefore, now you have become not man and woman as a marriage, a husband and wife. What you have become is a master and a servant. So I don't think that in the contrast of, I can understand that there is business relation in a marriage, but it in itself, it can't be a business alone. At some point, there has to be something that distinguishes your business from the fact that you have there's a purpose behind joining together in marriage.
Well, God's the owner of my business, so I don't, I always leave it to him.
You said God own your business?
Yeah, every time.
If God own your business, then all your money would go to God. He the owner.
I give God what he asked me to give him.
All right,
which is my tithes and my offering. You know what I'm saying?
I'm mad at you, man. I'm mad at you, but I'm telling you, God.
He didn't ask for all the money. He asked for 10%, sir. You know what I'm saying?
Larry, do you pray to God for the Chargers to win every week?
Why are you getting off the topic, sir? Why are you getting off the topic?
Were you praying to God when they lost to the Cowboys? Melvin was waiting for you. He
Yeah,
ain't see
and
you.
where's Melvin? Yeah, Melvin
Yeah,
was
Melvin was
waiting.
definitely waiting.
He was. Where is Melvin?
But yeah, y'all, hey, we
don't
we
even-
definitely went way over than what we were supposed to do. But it was a good topic. I think we spent a little bit too much time on Lori Harvey's raggedy tail. You know, we had a good topic about, or a good discussion about mental health and creating a space for men. And I think that was a really good one. So I'm gonna edit some of this stuff, and I might just cut out that whole Lori Harvey stuff because it was a waste of time.
Damn. Well, anyways, I mean, we all pretty much agreed to the same thing, though. We did.
She got mileage.
I don't think that was the agreement, but okay.
I agree.
Tisha got my back on that one. Hey,
I'm
so
done
first
with
off,
you. You done lost.
no.
You done lost
So
me.
on a serious note, I got to give Tisha props, and I would like to say, we're gonna have to initiate her. She's gonna have to get beat down a little bit, but she's an official member of the Drop Your 3 Cent crew because she researches, she sends videos, she gives opinions, and you know, she be putting up polls and stuff. She really be throwing in her 3 cent and really contributing to making this shit work. So I appreciate you. So, you know what I'm saying? You're gonna get initiated in, you know, so that's how we do, you know.
How I get initiated in? Do I have to fight people?
We're gonna throw pennies. We're gonna throw pennies at you.
I'll play that. That's all right.
you
I'll
gotta
collect
eat.
all pennies.
You gotta eat some real food. That's gonna be your initiation. We're gonna give you a sirloin.
We're gonna hit her with a chicken sandwich.
Yeah.
Fried
I'm
chicken.
not eating no meat.
She
You
went
gonna
on
get
there
hit right
posting
back
something.
with it.
She went on there
I'm
posting
good.
some old
Y'all gonna leave
crazy
me
old
alone.
lunch that she put on Facebook. I was like looking at that stuff like, who eats that? It's just
I
wrong.
eat it. That's who eats it. I eat it.
Tisha, I got a lot of love for you. I raked a whole bunch of leaves for you, you know, so you can put some marinara sauce
Y'all
and some.
lucky the pastor is on here, like you really are.
You can put some marinara sauce and some lemon pepper. You can have some lemon pepper wings,
That's
some
all
lemon
right.
pepper
My
leaves, you
body
know.
is healing.
You
My
eat
body
bushes
is
too?
healing from all the mess that crap did to my body, so I'm good.
No, I can dig it.
I got all
Definitely
the
can
energy
dig
in
it.
the world to catch all that you throwing at me. So keep on. You gonna
Nah,
get it.
That's a hard
you
task,
really
man. I give you that. That
I'm
is a
with
hard
that.
task to go without eating meat. Boy.
You're gonna be a little fatigued and weak.
Oh, I know.
Thanksgiving coming
But-
too. Woo.
Yep.
Man, that turkey.
Christmas too. My dad makes
couldn't
gumbo for
participate.
Christmas. Yeah, it's gonna be rough, but I'm sticking with it.
You got this.
So
got
you do
I got it.
you do admit that it's challenging, right?
Oh, for
It
sure.
is challenging, but my health is more important than meat. So I
That's
have to
good
do what I have
discipline.
to do.
It's
Mhm.
great
Stand
discipline.
strong on that.
She gonna make a whole gumbo with leaves.
Don't
So
let
y'all
third
three
degree
stop
tempt
getting funny.
you.
The pastor
like-
gets a pass because he a pastor, but I don't know how long that's gonna last.
I
I'm gonna be 100 with you.
said
Yeah,
that's
man,
great
we can
discipline.
get it too. Huh?
Because everybody can catch that petty.
Everybody can get it.
No exclusion.
I'm
So if that's what you're trying to get from me, it's coming.
No, but I appreciate you for being our designated researcher. I mean, you really be digging in and finding like good topics and
I be
like, you know,
trying. I
between
really
you,
do.
Quez, and Melvin, you know what I'm saying? But you do it the most. I get videos from you on a consistent daily basis, and
All
you're
the
posting
time.
questions of the day, getting audience engagement. So I appreciate you for just putting in the work
No
to try to make
problem.
this platform work. You know what I mean? That's what it means to be a team. So I appreciate you very much.
I got you.
But all right, y'all. So next week it's my birthday weekend, but I think I was inspired by my lady. We were having this talk, and I think I want to talk about, you know, especially with this whole stuff with Diddy, you know, with the whole abuse claims, the rape allegations, all this other stuff. I want to talk to women who have survived abuse, who went through abuse. And I want to definitely have a talk
will
with some
be
women,
there.
and I want to get some questions. I have some questions, and we're going to have an open, honest discussion about it. You know what I'm saying? And hopefully we can help somebody else in the long run, because I don't know.
What
You know,
about-
with
what
me,
about-
I'm
what about
conflicted.
men? What about
Huh?
men that survive?
Men, hey, men can come too. Men can come too.
Because I'm looking at
I'll
D
be
over
here.
there. She quiet, but she done talking about stabbing somebody 37 times.
I got D back. Hey, I got D back. I'm gonna help her. I'm gonna help her hide the body.
You know what I mean?
Right?
So,
Hey, her
so
mama that
just,
made me some
just
banana
know,
bread. I got D back. I'm gonna hide the body.
just know you're
And it
gonna be
makes
right
sense to
there
me.
with
You
D,
ain't worried about it.
because
You
this
should
is
be worried
because
about this.
you on live camera right now.
You
Oh,
a
snap.
pastor.
And
You
you
should
gonna
be worried about
you
cheating.
gonna be.
My
I'm
fault.
Speaking
worried
of,
about cheating.
she
I'm
must
not
got
worried about
paid.
cheating. I'm worried about murder.
I just
I
got
will never help hide a body.
I'm worried about murder. Like, why would you
I
kill
just
the
got
man
a
if you already
Everybody
I
got
decided?
just got a thing come across my screen that said Cassie settles her human trafficking case.
What?
Yep, it just came across. So she must got a big payout.
Yeah, you probably
What?
got better off.
Yo, we're gonna talk about that. I've already ran out of apple juice, and I had to go to the fridge go get a new apple juice. So, oh
Hey,
man,
Quiz,
Edward,
hey,
did you
Quiz, I
ever
am
move?
proud of you, though.
Why you say that,
Did
son?
What'd you say, D?
Edward, did you ever
Decent.
move? I thought you was moving in your new spot. You gonna
hey, we'll talk about that off.
have a housewarming?
We will have and we're gonna have it up. We put my business out on the world. We D understand we are on YouTube. We're all over the world. Nobody needs to know, especially crazy ass girls from the past. Insecure, crazy cat shit girls. They don't need no shit. I'm gonna edit that.
Wow.
I'm gonna edit that. I don't need this all out there.
It's already been said though, so good luck with it.
Yeah,
Well,
yes, he said it.
No. I never
Go
said
ahead
on
and
here.
nobody
You
can
put
hear
it. Hey,
Yeah.
no, I did not
Go
move.
ahead and
So
edit
there
that.
you go. How about that?
There you go. Yeah.
Anyway,
he did.
No, but the abuse topic, I will be here because I have been there. So
right. I definitely, I definitely want to hear. We're gonna have a talk about that. But yeah, this crap. I'm about to look into that. Thank you, Kendra. Thank you, Larry Sauls. Thank you, Tisha. Thank you, Kendra. Thank you, Adoration. Thank you for everybody. Lucetta, we see you. Yeah, it's gonna be a triggering topic, but I think it's a real one that we need to have, especially for us men, because I want to have this conversation for us so we say stuff and we're not being like indirectly insensitive, or we have certain questions or whatever. I just want to hear. I want to hear from you guys and just let you know that we're the voice of the unheard, and this is what this platform is for. So if we can get some healing, we can get some understanding, get some clarity. Let's do it. So next week we'll talk about that. We're not going to do our normal 3 topics. We're going to basically dedicate maybe like an hour or so into talking about that. Okay.
Got it.
All right, but I love y'all. We're way past overtime. I ran out of apple juice like an hour ago.
Hey, Quiz, I'm proud of you, brother. I'm proud of you, Quiz.
What I do?
Is what you didn't do.
I can't.
You cut back on the beer tonight. I don't know if you broke or not, but you did cut back.
Wow.
Wow.
You cut back tonight, brother. I'm proud of you, man. You kept it.
Hey,
you kept it legit tonight.
I got Melvin's back.
I had a couple.
Mel,
Look at that.
I know, but you cut back though, because by this time you still.
Who said they got Melvin's back? Hold on. Let me get that solo layout. Was that you, Kendra?
Yeah, look.
Oh my God! Take her off the screen.
That's what you. Oh Lord!
Wow.
I'm in my office.
I bet that's really triggering, huh, Larry?
No, it's not. I really don't have.
About it.
I really don't have a problem with the Cowboys. I don't. I just don't like a couple of their fans. That's all it is. I just don't like a couple of their fans. They always, you out here in San Diego, man. You just got a mixture of everybody. Ain't nobody here from here. So every time there's a football game, you find out there's a million Dallas Cowboys.
Y'all ain't got fans, period. That's what I keep trying to say. You guys got 50 fans. So every time that there's a game, you're gonna have the other players' fans in your stands. That's how the Cowboys, the Chargers Stadium make money, is from the other folks' fans.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I acknowledge that.
Yeah, y'all moved to LA. That was the mistake.
That was
It wasn't no mistake.
That was the dumbest thing ever. How they gonna move to Raider Nation? You know what I'm saying? Like
that wasn't the dumbest thing, because they got more fans coming there than they did when they was in San Diego.
Where? Negro where? Hey, I was watching the game the other day. A Detroit game, right? And I was hearing more Detroit fans.
Right, I agree.
I was hearing more of the other fans. I didn't know which home team we were watching. I heard, where.
Y'all a mess, man.
Y'all weren't even showing up when they were in San Diego.
No, that's what I'm trying to tell you. They have more fans going to SoFi than they have going to San Diego.
I give you that.
You would.
You
wouldn't know that because you ain't been to none of the went to none of the Chargers game.
Why would I want to be around all them raggedy, deformed, hills have eyes, inbred, no ring, boat wearing, powder blue looking.
The Cowboy fans that I got problem with is those that's born and raised here and then try to be a doggone Dallas Cowboy like Kendra.
Oh, them are just Crips. They don't count. Them is just some Crips.
Doggone well you don't live in Dallas. Where you from?
They just Crips. They ain't got no other choice. You know what I'm saying? They gotta wear blue.
Yeah, exactly. That's all you
no gang activity here on this platform where nobody's affiliated with that one.
Cowboys fan by gang affiliation. You must be from
I must be from where?
I said you're a Dallas Cowboy fan by way of gang affiliation, huh?
No, not at all.
What gangs rep Dallas?
Oh, Lord. on that note, we're not getting into gang politics on this platform. Hey, y'all, it's been a good one. And Larry, yes, my lady is a lady who is not crazy, insecure, or just completely just insane. She's a good woman, of 7 months. Huh?
For 7 days. You don't know
for
yet.
7 months.
7 months.
Yeah, you out the loop, cuz.
No, you all right. 7 months ain't been long enough. Talk to me about 2 years. We'll see if y'all still together in 2 years. You might got it.
Man, hey, sir, I don't appreciate the negativity. Hey, if anybody would know about loyalty, it would be you. You're a Charger fan. You have no ring, so yeah, you know about dysfunction. You wear it well.
Good night, everyone.
These negativities, man. That's why God's punishing you back by receding your hairline, man. You saluting back all the way back over here.
I'm gonna keep saluting. And I'm gonna keep on letting it go back.
Yes, sir.
It's gonna go all the way back. I ain't never seen no doggone Raiders.
Man, God receding your hairline like he parted the Red Sea.
I can't.
Man,
it's going back. It didn't separate. It rescinded.
I thought this.
Hey, man, I love y'all.
My hairline rescinded. It ain't separated.
It disappeared like the chances of you guys winning the Super Bowl ring. But anyway,
on my hairline. You just better hope yours don't go to when you get this on.
You're darn skippy. Thank God my genetics. Hey man, but I love y'all. We're gonna get up out of here, man. I'll holler at y'all on the flip. Have a good one. Thank you for tuning in. We're gonna do the rebroadcast. I'm gonna edit this. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna make it shorter for those that stayed in with us. We appreciate you. It'll be shorter next week. Much love. Peace.
Like your season. Your season gonna